Simply stay up.
That's fair.
It's your West Coast programming, baby. It's 7:42.
That's so fair. Tonight ran late. Nick's B.
The fuck?
Now you can't be me and the pod started.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm all armed. All
Trench knife.
Speaking of being armed, Daniel, I'm in danger.
Is this the comment?
Oh, this is the comment, Danny.
Okay.
I'm in danger. So, to give a little context of what me and Danny are talking about here, we posted an episode last week, and me and Danny are well known for being a little controversial.
Yeah,
you know,
lately.
we're both big Sigmas. We got big Sigma energy, and
I'm in a Steve Harvey cosplay right now.
Yeah,
Audio only listeners, use your imagination, but not too much of it.
Yeah. Listen, he went the full yard. All right. So me and Danny are big Sigmas, which means we can have both genitalia. I believe that's what Sigma means. So we can we can have both genitalia, right? We're breedable both ways.
I think that's true, actually.
Yeah. So
you know your wolf lore.
Yeah, me, my wolf pussy. I'm telling you, about how we're underrated Sigmas.
Nick, I need you to stop yelling at me.
I'm sorry. Anyways,
I'm trying to get words in as the other half of this podcast.
Oh,
You're
and
fucking drowning
That's
me.
where you went wrong. So me and Danny last week were like, oh, Demon Slayer filler season. I hope people don't drop the show. Like, kind of like just what we do, or just like, I think people will like not watch our podcast and they'll see the thumbnail and they'll be like, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. Because when we like broach and we're like, oh, Demon Slayer, like, I hope people like, we love this show. I hope people don't fall off the season because it's not as action packed as season 2 was, or the movie, when we were like the only people sticking up for the fact that Swordsmith Village arc was good. And then so people got in our comments, real upsetty, like upsetty spaghetti.
Real upsetty about it.
They were real upsetty.
Yeah.
And so I deleted a couple of comments. I got in there. I deleted a couple of comments.
That's so much better than me. I spent one day. There was one day when I went to the gym on my own, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because I had no other person there to like,
regulate you?
Yeah, no other person there to regulate like, okay, they're going to want to leave in an hour. I only have an hour to do this. Because I was just on the bench scrolling through comments during JJK when we were like, this episode looks a little unfinished. Yeah. And I was fucking swinging back at people.
Oh, you have to. You absolutely have to. You got to get in there.
Or you delete them, which
I
is
just delete them.
better.
Yeah, no, I've adapted my brain to just be like, I don't want this here anymore, and I'll just get rid of it.
Do you want to discuss a few of them?
Well, no. So there's really only one, and we realized today that I misread it. But basically, what I was breaking Danny down on one of these comments, and they were like, the way I read it was like, I hope you
read it first.
Okay. Well, but once I read it to them, they're going to understand what's going on.
Maybe not. You didn't.
I'm going to give them the context of what I was thinking, and then I'll read them the actual comment.
If you read it in an aggressive tone, people will get what you're talking about.
Oh, you have to realize the attitude I was in while reading these comments was, oh, everyone hates us. The career's over. I'm dying. That was tough. So I got to this one comment and I was like, oh, this person is going to inflict physical harm on me. I'm going to get doxxed. My IP address has already been leaked. And so let's get it. It was...
Let's get it. You don't have to be an influencer in the downtime too. Like, let's see, let's go, let's get it.
Let's hit that notey bell. We got this. It was enjoy the Demon Slayer filler while you can, buddy. Once this is over, you're gonna get punched in the face over and over and over again and won't see it coming. And I was like,
for anyone
who says buddy in a non-condescending tone.
When you read it like that, Nick...
That's how my brain read it.
Nick came up to me today and was like, "Did you see us get threatened in the comments?" I was like, "No." And then he read this to me and it's like, yeah, you say this now, buddy, but then you're gonna wake up getting your face punched in.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he talking about the next season?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I think he's talking about the Infinity Castle arc.
Yeah, Nick thought this guy was threatening.
I thought he was threatening to punch me in the face. So I responded and I said, is this a threat? LOL. I was very nervous.
I love knowing that he probably read that and was like, oh, he's engaging with me. Like, is this a threat? Haha.
Yep.
And you're like, Do I need to lawyer up right now?
Do I need protection? So it was like that.
So fun. We're gonna get so many threats on this video now because of you.
I hope so. Spice them in here. I'm not going to read the comments. I need to get out of our own comment section because it's like 99% love, but like occasionally somebody will be like, fell off.
It just takes one.
And here's my thing. If you come to this podcast for good anime takes, you're simply not at the right place. Yeah. Part 2.
Holy shit. Nick just caught a thing and then went to the knife.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I'll post TikToks nowadays and nowadays I'll post one of these clock.
Oh, can I make a mean joke?
Yeah.
You look like the Peaky Blinders brother who got fetal alcohol syndrome.
Oh man, I was excited for the first half of that. Damn. For
You look like Arthur Shelby now. You look like Arthur Shelby now.
For audio only listeners, I look like a real oil man right now.
Oh, you look, yeah.
I've got a mustache. I'm wearing an old like vest, a suit vest, button down shirt, and I'm covered in grease, but that isn't new.
Showtime.
Showtime,
Absolutely,
baby.
baby.
Nick. I like reverse hurt Nick's feelings today because the reason I'm dressed like this is because we shot an anime IRL, which for anyone confused what that means, it's an upcoming channel featuring
Live June 29th,
featuring Nick, Steven, and Chris, Steven He and Chris Barnett as like the frontmen, and then every now and then I'm kind of in it.
Yes.
So I was the host of Family Feud this week, which was very cool. And I went up to Nick at the end, and it was a great shoot. It was like one of our best videos we've shot yet. And I went up to Nick, and I was like, yeah, that was fun, right? Did you like it? And he was like, Nick was like, yeah, it's a good thing we have this host situation on a revolving door, too.
Yeah.
And then I just went, oh. And then I walked away, and Nick immediately was like, wait.
I was like, it was a joke. And then he was like, I was literally about to say, I feel like I crushed it as a host. And I was like, good thing we're not doing the same host every month.
I know, I was just about to be like, I really like this. It'd be cool if I was a regular host of this. And then, yeah. And now I won't be.
I think you did great.
And now I won't be.
I think you did fantastic.
Well, we'll see.
I think you did good. I think people are going to love the mustache.
Hopefully.
It might stick around after these. Like, listen, I'd say keep it until this episode goes out, and then we do like a poll. Keep the stash.
I want to see what would
Ride
happen
the lightning.
if I just regrew my beard and like had the mustache, like catch up.
Like the dad from Inside Out.
Yeah. And that guy fucks.
He fucks
so hard.
I mean, he at least fucked once. He's got kids.
He does have a child. Out of every Pixar movie, there's always a Pixar mom with a dump truck.
Yep.
Inside Out is the only Pixar movie where people are like, no, Pixar dad.
Yeah. I can't think of a hot Pixar dad.
Mr. Incredible is
No.
built like a fucking teeth.
That's the male gaze, not the female gaze. Frozone.
They're all fucking fish.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, most of them are fish people.
They're a fish. They're a car. Who are hot Pixar moms? And then we'll figure out what the dads are.
The Porsche from Cars.
Right. But it's not a hot. Lightning's not hot.
No.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
Porsche from Cars is hot.
For sure.
Miss Incredible.
Yeah. Mr. isn't. But Lucius.
Who?
Frozone.
Frozone.
Frozone's smooth. He is
I don't think he has
just
kids, though.
Sam
They don't have
Jackson.
kids.
Not fucking enough.
Yeah, no, he's not fucking enough.
Yeah.
Hot Pixar mom. The mom from Big Hero 6. Or no, she's
Yeah.
technically the aunt. The aunt from Big Hero 6.
But no uncle. Or dad.
Or dad. Nothing.
Yeah,
just
nothing.
her. She's the Aunt May
guys.
of Pixar characters.
Yeah. She might be the hottest one.
There's some Twitter posts.
I've seen 'em.
There's full animated Twitter posts.
Let's see. Marlin's wife's pretty hot.
Who?
Finding Nemo, Marlin's wife. There's
Oh, hot
she's a
Pixar
fish.
dads.
That's
hot
the joke.
Pixar
Nick.
dads.
Who?
Zebrafish from Finding Nemo, the one with the scars.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is he a dad?
That's my hear me out.
Just a
Probably
fish.
with a fucking
That's a
face
good
like
hear
that.
me out.
That's
I
a
feel
great
that.
hear me out.
Yeah, we're gonna get to some hear me outs later today.
Oh yeah, we have what do we agree on the name?
Fuck Chuck or
Fuck Chucker.
Chomp. Fuck Chuck or Chomp.
Fuck Chuck or
Chuck or
Chomp.
You play that music, white boy. I don't actually know how that one goes.
Play
I just
that
knew
music.
that.
Play that funky music, white boy.
Play that fucking music.
What? That changes it. It gets
It's too goddamn quiet.
White boy. Oh my god, like how much emphasis you're putting on white here.
The
Anyways.
emphasis on white boy in the second half goes so hard.
Play it fucking louder, white boy. So yeah, we have a bunch of groups of 3 Pokemon from the original 151 that we're either going to fuck, chomp, or chuck. So it's either
White boy.
White boy, looking at you, Derek.
This segment is called Fuck, Chuck, or Chomp
White boy. Nice. It's finally we're fleshing it out. But anyways, be nice to us.
I forgot that was what
just be nicer.
This segment started with you being like, "Can I be mean for a bit?"
Yeah, to you. yeah, but like,
be nice to Nick. I guess.
I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I got thin little skin.
And they were dancing and moving and grooving to the music. Oh,
What?
I said beat.
Is it beat?
I don't know. Yours
dancing
was
and
good.
Grooving and moving to the music.
That's good.
I'm pretty
I
sure
like
it's music.
that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that was our disco hour. We actually, Danny is living on this hill that we don't have a lot to talk about, but we have like a lot to talk about this week.
I said
you were like,
I said the quality of episodes wasn't that great.
there was
Demon Slayer's the best one, and that's saying something.
Should we open with that? Because we're already talking about Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Because everyone, like last week, admittedly, we're like, oh, I don't know if a filler season is a good idea for Demon Slayer. I think like it might slow down the pace here. I think people might fall off the season. And you gave me news last episode that everything moving on from that episode we watched last week. So what episode are we on now?
Well, I don't know where the filler starts. I think it's 2 weeks ago, 2 episodes ago.
Was where the filler started?
Yeah.
I will come out and say I didn't like the Moishiro Tokido episode. I thought the paper throwing thing was stupid.
Yeah.
I get the context of him trying to be like, oh, you have to like be able to like be more liquid with how you're moving.
Yeah. Which episode is this? Just to explain.
Genya
and the Wind Hashira have a bit of a falling out. It's what do I want to call her? Mojito.
Yeah, Mojito.
What's her name?
Mitsuri.
Mitsuri. Well, because there's fucking Mimosa, which is also a drink.
Mimosa?
Mimosa from Black Clover. Mimosa.
Oh, Mimosa. Oh my God. What a fucking deep dig there.
Yeah. But Mitsuri's training session is this one. It's that one. It's the Mitsuri one. And then
it opens with Mitsuri. She's around for what, like 3 seconds? We're talking episode 5 from the Hashira training arc.
She fucking splits a kid in half, and then they move on.
I thought that happened to me.
I sit like, wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. In the leotards, what a bold move.
So my notes from this episode were, I knew that we're going to do flexibility with Mitsuri. Like that's her entire thing is that she's like weirdly flexible for how strong she is. Didn't expect ballet. Also, give Mitsuri longer than 35 seconds.
Yeah,
that was
give her
wild.
more. Yeah.
She like her part in the outro where she was like, oh, let's eat pancakes was literally her entire segment from this episode.
Also, this episode, my note was that this episode is titled, I Even Ate Demons.
Yep.
And I groaned and was like, it's going to be Mitsuri's paper throwing episode. Because that's a Mitsuri-ass.
No, I knew it was about Genya immediately. But
I thought it was about eating. And I was like, it's going to be her thing. Not in it. I will say, I had a fucking blast with this episode.
It's really fun.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jokes.
I was chortling the entire time. And Dorothy was watching it with me. She hasn't watched an episode of Demon Slayer. She was enthralled.
Yeah, Sarah was watching it with me, and I was like cracking up. I cracked up at a Zenitsu being like
crawling along the walls.
Like, I slithered over here like a lizard, and then you see him.
He's like covering my track like a lizard. Absolute prime Tanjiro eyes episode. Just big old black like button eye episode for Tanjiro.
It's so funny because Demon Slayer is usually very serious. Like we'll go like 6 episode chunks without like cracking a joke, and then when it's funny, it's really funny.
Very underrated humor.
Yeah, like when Mitsuri like split that dude in half.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
It's good physical comedy.
I like Tanjiro. Like after that scene, he shows up to the snake one.
Oh no, Igoro.
He shows up to Igoro, and his legs are just like fucking buckling.
I also love because Igoro and Mitsuri are like a ship, like they're like together. ish, like he's in love with her, she's in love with him, kind of thing. I don't know if they ever actually end up together, but they like she's like sent a message to Iguro that like Tanjiro is super cute and like loves eating all these sweet foods, and he's like immediately jealous. He's like, don't talk to Mitsuri, like you guys are chums. Adored that.
Yeah.
So cute.
I like the training where he has to.
I love the training. When it showed day 2, I chuckled because I was like, day 1 I can understand. Like Iguro just goes around, wraps you all to poles. Don't go in the dojo day 2. Just don't show up. You're like, oh no, how'd I get tied to a beam again?
Yeah, I like Tanjiro's I like Tanjiro inspiring the next generation of Demon Slayers because I like them being like, hey, why are you still going? We're not on the posts. And he's like, I know if I fuck this up, he'll make it harder on you guys.
Yeah.
And they all got up and they're like, all right,
here we go.
But that's cool because Tanjiro, the whole point of this is for Tanjiro to become Rengoku.
Yeah.
That's like Tanjiro's arc. And he's being the inspiration that Rengoku was to him. And constant smile that Rengoku was to him.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. Well, he literally uses his sword.
That is what he's like. Well, he uses his hilt, but he's like popping from Hashira to Hashira. And Dorothy asked me, she was like, oh, why is he alone? And I was like, honestly, great question. He's the only person to pass any of the Hashira trainings. Yeah. Like, is this entire thing built out for Tanjiro?
What's Inosuke doing?
Oh, training with Gyome, apparently.
I guess. Oh, he just skipped to the front?
That's a good question.
Because Inosuke...
Is there a linear track to what Hashira you go to?
Or is it like a stamp situation where you have your punch card?
And you can go in whatever direction the wind blows you?
Yeah, maybe.
I loved cutting to Inosuke saying a Buddhist mantra under
He's giving a sermon.
Dude, just the full Buddhist mantra under a waterfall and just sitting there perfectly calm, and Guillaume's just in the middle of a bonfire. And I'm like there's no better person to be tamed by Guillaume and lose their ego and their consciousness than Inosuke. I think that's so funny. I think Guillaume might be the last one we have to go to here because Tanjiro's now gone to Tsunemi.
He hasn't done the wind one though.
Tsunemi.
No. Oh, he's banned from him because
he's suspended. Yeah. I thought that moment between Tsunemi. How do you feel about Tsunemi, as a person?
I don't remember him much in 3. I almost have to go back and rewatch their episode.
He's not he's not one of the Hashiras that's stepped into a battle.
No,
yet.
I know, but don't they do his backstory episode?
They do Genya's backstory.
And he's in it. Is it revealed
brothers.
This episode that they're brothers?
No.
Yeah, I don't remember that they're brothers. So I'm
a demon breaks in, they're waiting for their mother. Their mother just turned into a demon.
Yeah.
Kills all their family members.
How do they get out of it? Tsunemi saves them.
Tsunemi kills his mother, who's a demon. Genya sees it. It's you killed mom. And then Tsunemi is all right, fuck you, basically.
Yeah. I don't mind him. He doesn't it's not his season yet. I'm hoping...
Big Infinity Castle arc.
I'm hoping so. I love his design, love his power. He's fine. Genya's a cutie patootie in this one. They got Genya doing a real little
Yeah, he's talking soft. Yeah.
What
do you think Tsunemi's motivations are?
I don't know.
Okay.
He seems just a I gotta be stronger kind of guy,
Kind of.
Family's dead. I gotta be strong. I don't know yet.
I like that. Do you like Genya's character? Do you think he eat demons? Do you enjoy that?
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's pretty fucking
sick. It's one of my favorite power systems in the entire story.
I'm also waiting for Genya's episode,
He also is important in the Infinity Castle arc.
How long will the Infinity Castle be, do you think?
Demon Slayer itself is...
It's not long.
No, here's the thing. Everyone always talks about Demon Slayer it's not long. It's over 200 chapters.
Oh, really?
Demon Slayer is...
That's healthy. That's good.
Oh, that's Demon Slayer Academy. It's 206 chapters. And so the Infinity Castle arc is, let's see. Infinity Castle arc manga. The Infinity Castle arc starts at chapter 137, which means there's about 80-ish chapters of it, between that and the end. It ends at 190, and then there's another mini arc, and then the epilogue arc. Speaking of epilogues, we can talk about MHA. But yeah, no, this was my favorite episode, and I think genuinely, if the rest of the filler season is like this, where it's a mix of Tanjiro possibly butting heads with other Hashira and getting stronger, I don't have any real issue with that. Yeah. I just think the Moisture episode is weak. Comparatively to a lot of the other episodes, I thought the Tengen episode wasn't all that strong.
Yeah.
I thought
I like the Giyu one.
The Giyu one was strong. I think
because it's funny. If they're funny, I'll be entertained. The
Kengan wasn't funny. It was cute.
Yeah, the Gyu one has my favorite moment of Tanjiro maybe ever, where he just like pops his little head in and he like wiggles a bit.
I love a chibi Tanjiro, just doing chibi Tanjiro shit.
Yeah.
Just watching like a tiny prepubescent like Russian bodybuilder Tanjiro like run. Yeah. I don't really give a shit.
We talked about that Diglett meme where like it's Diglett's head and then a ripped body.
Yeah.
That's Tanjiro.
Dude, I saw there's this thing going around on TikTok right now where people are saying really big bodybuilders look like little guys wearing muscle suits, and I can't fucking unsee it.
It's so funny.
And once
so
you see
true.
it for the first time, it's like uncanny.
For anyone confused, if you look it up, I'm sure you'll find it, but it's this like not theory, but it's this thing going around where it's like, like huge, like ginormous bodybuilders because their traps muscles
get so big.
Yeah, their traps are so big.
And their shoulders are so much bigger on top of it.
Yeah.
That there's a clear like bump between, there's like a trap bump and then a shoulder bump. So it looks like a smaller dude in a basically
like a big guy mech.
In a big guy mech, and you can never unsee it. It's why it's fucked me.
It's really funny.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't think I can ever watch like an Arnold's classic ever again.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll hold on Demon Slayer. We got yelled at about our stock thing.
Yeah, our stock. Listen, I think us not understanding stocks technically better for the bit.
Technically, the bit.
Yeah, like the bit is us being like sell, and they're like, that's not at a buy. Nope.
We got a comment that was like, the buy sell analogy is great, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Hey man, look at what we do for a job.
Yeah, they're like, if something's bad, don't buy it. They're essentially mad we're giving genuinely awful stock.
Yeah. Imagine somebody being like, oh, I don't know, Blockbusters dive and buy. Like we're the reason people are going bankrupt on Blockbuster.
I know, but it's like, to be fair, like, so we'll hold on Demon Slayer or buy. You can buy on Demon Slayer because it's not great right now. It's getting a little better. Yep. If you're gonna buy it all, right now is the time to do it.
I'd say last week was the time to do it, but now is not a bad time either.
We'll hold. Maybe, because next episode's probably the Genya one. Or what's his
Guillaume.
name? Guillaume. Next episode's probably that. It's probably going to be good.
It's going to have a Nosuke meditating. That's just a layup.
That's just good.
That's just a layup.
So,
how many episodes are they doing? Because we're encroaching on the end of this season.
Probably 9.
Think so? We're at 5.
It was like 8 last time, right?
We're at 5. We're at 5 right now. I think next week, like Thursday, is the last episode of Dungeon Meshi. And I think Dungeon Meshi is kind of like Dungeon Meshi season. Windbreaker just released episode 10. So I think we have like at most 2 weeks left in what would be considered this season before we're on to summer 2024. So yeah, summer 2024. So I think we have 2 weeks left. So I think like 7, 8 episodes maybe.
It's going to be 8 episodes.
It's going to be 8 episodes.
And then the next
we're like out of Hashira. Like after Guillaume, we have Shinobu. And that's,
I forgot Shinobu.
But she's not like, I know we're in filler territory, so we shouldn't be going off the manga here. But like Shinobu, she's doing something with the demon lady. Like she's doing a thing. She's doing a sciencey thing right now. She's not training people.
Oh, wait. Hold on. IMDb, I'm getting a conflicting thing.
Oh?
So IMDb says 11.
11 episodes?
So maybe,
there's no way.
Maybe the Hashira training arc is 8.
And then we're going to get like 3 of Infinity Castle?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Or
if you're gonna do 11 episodes, don't start 5 weeks late.
Well, I think it'd be like the beginning of the
Infinity Castle.
Yeah. And the next one is the final season, probably.
That makes sense that they would want to get far enough into the story that the next season just could wrap.
Yeah, that people care.
Yeah. That would be good. Like, hey, whole season, interesting. Like, clock in because you're going to get punched in the face over and over and over again before you even know it.
Yeah, if our comment section is anything
this ruckus crowd that is our comment section has anything to say about it. But yeah, it was really good. It was my favorite episode of the season. Very happy to see that. I don't know what.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's my slime. It's my slime for real. But anyways, my favorite episode is You're My Slime.
I don't know what that means.
You're my slime. You never heard of it? You're like my slime? You never heard that? I'm going to say it again.
You're my slime.
Do you need me to spell it?
You're my slime, white boy. Get this through your
You're my white
head.
slime.
Anyway.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, Nick, can we wrap this up? I have whiskey to drink.
Oh, I have women to ogle at a Hooters. Can I talk about Chainsaw Man real quick?
Should I hear this?
Yes.
Okay.
I almost wanted to lead the show with this.
Okay.
Denji.
Is this a spoiler for the folks?
I mean, like, how about I'm going to say spoiler for chapter 167. And Stank, if you think this is a spoiler, either if you think it's a spoiler, keep it in. If you don't think it's a spoiler, cut it.
But and everyone live is fucked.
But Denji got a hand job.
Well,
yeah.
That's pretty big. I didn't know whose hand it was. Nick sent me a photo of a hand covered in semen.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And was like, we got to talk about this. And I was like, fucking call your parents before you call me.
We got big news. So there's a second protagonist in Chainsaw Man that's introduced in
the
part.
Girl, right?
Yoru, technically Asa, who has the War Devil inside of her, and the War Devil took her over and gave Denji a little tuggy tug, and then Denji did an End of Evangelion little splooge all over her hand, and then the second that Denji shoots his York, Yoru is like, by the way, Asa's in charge again, and Asa's like,
wow.
And here's the thing.
Well, that's definitely a spoiler.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
The crowd's a little divided on it.
It's definitely rape.
Yeah.
It sounds like all parties were raped. I don't know if Denji's into it or...
Yeah. But the other side of the argument is it's incredible writing. And that's the wildest part about it.
Well, is it like a Himino thing where it's like, obviously it's like attempted rape, but the manga and anime knows it and like use it for themes?
Can I talk about it in incredibly general terms?
You can try.
Because this is a TikTok I need to make. Chainsaw Man tells one of the most well-told stories of all time in the crudest possible way. Like, Chainsaw Man is genuinely genius writing told through what doesn't seem like genius writing because of how crass it is. Denji is at, like, part 2 is about a split in, like, Denji's personality, and this is Denji's lowest moment, and he gets what he's always wanted. But he gets it in a circumstance that taints it, and now, like, possibly mars a relationship that he was working on building with Asa in the first place. And Asa, who's interested in Denji, is now having something that she was probably wanting to do, marred by the fact that she wasn't in control of it.
Yeah.
And so it's like a really cool dichotomy moment, because the entire thing about this part 2 was the fact that Denji split between two worlds and two wants, and the thing splitting him is his dick.
Yeah.
And that's like, so like, it is technically not super consensual for anybody,
right?
But at the same time,
but does it know that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what's important.
That's the undertone of what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's really good writing, but it makes you feel icky, and it probably should.
It should. Like,
it genuinely should.
That's the thing. Chainsaw Man's so good, but I'm so sick of having to explain why. Because that's the thing about Himino, is that it's like the Himino thing is like objectively attempted rape.
Yeah.
And she's like hammered, but he's also hammered, but she's like an adult and he's like 16. But the show knows.
Yeah.
And it like knows that that's fucked. And even after she's like, oh yeah, you know, they send people to prison for that. And people are like, oh, she knows, so it's fine. That's not the show being like, oh, she's cool. It's the show being like, she's fucked. Yeah. Like, she's people
in this industry are fucked.
The show, people are fucked sometimes. Yeah. And like, there are morally gray fucked people that like, you know, when you're in like a demon society, you end up just having to like work with. And that doesn't mean you have to like overlook their fucked stuff. But it's like, he's so good at writing like morally gray situations, but too good because the audience doesn't realize. They think it's classic anime shit where it's like, it's a brother fucking a sister. It's Japan's quirky. Yeah. You know?
I think it has to speak to like literacy a little bit. Like, it's like kind of like how movies have like the biggest example of this is Dune recently, where like what's Zendaya's character's name?
Shawnee.
Yeah, they have to make Shawnee like super anti-Paul. Yeah. Like they make it so clear that Shawnee's anti-Paul when like that's just like if you're reading the book, it's like apparent. Yeah. And they're like, we had to beat people over the head with it because some people think that Paul is not only the good guy, but Shawnee's on his side.
Well, apparently in the first book, the reason they did this is because when the first book came out, everyone was like, oh, Paul's the good guy. Yeah. And Paul's like a sick dude. And then he wrote the sequel because he's like, fuck, I didn't get my point across enough.
Yeah.
And so he really laid it out for people. And with this Dune movie, Dune Part 2, Denis Villeneuve was like, I don't want to have to worry about that, so I'm going to make it clear that he's fucked.
Yeah.
And he still didn't pull it off.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Like, still people being like, oh, Paul Wadib Atreides, like Duka Arrakis, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
This is a shadow government putting in its own coup leader, please.
It's funny, too, because you'll get, like, not idiots, but people who are wrong.
Yes.
On both sides of the spectrum, where you'll get people being like, dude, Paul's sick as fuck, and this and that, and they miss the point. But then you'll get people who'll be like, did you know that Paul is actually, or they'll be like, Paul is a white savior, and here's why it's bad. And you've also missed the point, because that's the point.
Yeah. Like, that. Oh my God, you're so right. You're absolutely so right.
Yeah, it's like
people being like, Paul's not sick. He's a white savior. It's like, that's the entire book.
That's just the plot.
Yeah.
That's not a did you know.
Yeah, like Darth Vader is the father. We fucking knew.
It's just funny that you have people who are like, they miss the point and think he's sick. And then you have people who miss the point and think the movie thinks he's sick.
Yeah.
It's sick.
And it's straight down the middle like it almost always is.
Yeah, that's just TikTok.
So yeah, that's the Chainsaw Man update.
Yeah.
It's peak.
It's goopy.
It's peak.
Yeah.
It's just peak content.
It's sick. I'm
peak
so
fiction.
excited for... I don't think I'll read the manga. I think the anime is like too... I like too many...
I don't know how they're going to animate this. I don't... End of Evangelion, when they do the Shinji jerk-off scene, is a movie, so they could get away with it. Yeah. I do not know how they're going to animate this. Like, Tatsuki Fujimoto has put Mappa in a fucking blend. I think they're going to have to like get to a certain point in part 2 and be like, making another movie.
I mean, what if you just show their upper body? You just see her moving her arm.
Probably. He'll probably just be like...
Yeah.
And like, just like make a...
Stop.
You know, like that. You know,
Nick's
like,
making faces. Audio only, people. Oh, stop. Make a noise or don't make a noise. Don't do a...
Oh, did I tell you that I almost choked at ramen?
No.
Did I tell you when we went to the Crocs dinner? I didn't tell you this. Quick sidebar here. A couple weeks ago, me and Danny went to this Crocs Naruto dinner, and they gave us like pork. What?
The idea of like I'm just chatting with like fiction or something, and then I like hear a bunch of plates clatter, and you just grab a crock and you're throwing up.
No, there's holes. There's holes.
Spilling out all over Dorothy. Like,
it's on fiction. I keep aiming at fiction. I keep aiming at oh, David Croft, please. The dry. No. So I'm just chomping down on ramen here because there was unlimited booze and Nick was a little tipsy the time the ramen came around, and so I take a big haunch of the pork in there, like I barely chew, and I swallow it. It gets mid-lodge, and I'm trying to either swallow or push it back up. Usually I can push it back up. I can't push it back up. So I'm like oh God, what's his name? Tim Robinson. This skit where he's choking and he keeps eating, and and then the Detroiters, and I'm like, and Dorothy's like, everyone around me totally chill, talking, and I don't want to make a scene. I'm in front of so many people I respect. I simply can't be like,
great call.
I can't be like, I'd rather die than get the Heimlich in public. The vibes would have been fucked for the rest of the night. Like, hey Nick, remember when you died? You fucking weird. Like, oh yeah, by the way, what's your Instagram? Like, fuck off.
Can you imagine if you just like, we just hear your face hit the table, like paramedics come later and they're like, yeah, he died choking. None of you helped him. And we're like, he didn't say anything.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm
telling you right now, if I was actually choking, I would have gotten up, gone to the bathroom, and just ran into the sink. I was just like, ran into the sink as hard as I could. Is that the worst thing I could have done? Probably. I'm not embarrassing myself. So I'm sitting there just like,
yeah.
Like it's chill as possible. Like I told Dorothy like 3 minutes later, I was like, I almost fucking died. I was like, you almost let me die. She was like, you didn't tell me. I was like, I refused to. And eventually I just took scalding hot tea and just yugged it back and like burnt the meat down my throat. Oh my God, it was an unpleasant start to the meal.
What are we even talking about?
We're talking about Nick almost
Chainsaw
dying.
Man. Yeah,
You're almost there.
Yeah. What fucking input do you want from me? I almost saw you die. You didn't tell me.
Yeah.
It would have been I would have had
you
stuff to
imagine?
say if you died. So good going.
Yeah.
Nice job, idiot.
Would have been a great bit. Holy shit.
I just like, there's like 8 hilarious scenarios that are just running through my mind right now with
I was
that.
trying to slop it up in my throat.
You know what I didn't see any comments about?
What?
Your weird Blair Witch circle jerk. I should have looked for him. I should have looked in those comments. Why is that not the TikTok we're posting every day for the next 6
You know what's
months?
so funny?
What?
Aki Cookie came up again this week in conversation for me.
What is Aki Cookie?
Soggy biscuit.
What do you say?
You don't know what I'm talking about here?
No, what do you
It's when, all right. Let me put you on. All right. So Aki Cookie, also known as soggy biscuit. All right. You take a cookie. All right. You take a cookie.
What do you mean it also came up? This is not what you told me you did.
Well, I mean, it's like you're talking about Blair Witch jerk circles. I'm
Okay.
just talking about jerk circles.
Go on, let's
So
see.
we're talking about Aki Cookie here.
Yeah.
Is when you, group of fellas, your closest homies, all right, you get a cookie, you get like an Oreo, right? You put it in the middle.
Small cookie, but go on.
So you put
For
it.
what I'm assuming is
You put it in the middle. It could be any kind of cookie. It could be it could be a biscuit.
Yeah.
Put it in the middle. Y'all get to Yorkin.
Yeah.
Last to finish has everybody has to York onto the cookie. Last to finish has to eat it.
Last to finish.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
I like how do
The
you even-
irony is
the first to finish, I'd never talk to again. I can't imagine
the
getting
horrible
myself
irony of it is the last to finish is the least gay dude there.
and he's punished.
yeah.
That's the gay agenda. baby.
Oh, happy Pride, everyone.
Saying no, everyone's telling you not to talk about this because why would you? Wow.
Oh, it's my podcast. Oh.
You have to remember Nick didn't have iPhones at this time.
Oh no.
Did you do this?
No, God no.
You said speaking of.
Oh, it came up in conversation in pickleball.
Why?
We're talking about fluffers.
up.
Yeah, Michaela,
I know what that is.
Michaela pointed at a dog and said, "Look at that fluffer." And
I thought Michaela was like, I'm getting into something new.
yeah, Michaela was like, "Got to use this voice."
I don't even want to explain what a fluffer is.
Yeah. It's a hard job.
It's zing.
Depends how good you are at it.
Yeah. It also may be a myth.
Fluffers?
So
No.
a fluffer is a person on a porn set.
Yep.
Allegedly. Mythologically.
We've never been invited.
Legendarily.
Yeah. After we brought all the soggy cookies, they never let us back.
I
I pre-made them.
yeah, don't worry. These are already baked.
I'm eating them. I got nervous.
I'm sogging. What do? You know what the worst part is? When it's down to like a showdown. Mm-hmm. When it's when like
if you and your buddy,
if it's like 6 people,
I'd shoot immediately.
If it's 6 people, what do you
the pressure. I'd lock the fuck in. Oh my God, when I lock in, just two-handing that pig.
You know what you should have to do?
What?
To make it a harder game, even though it doesn't need to be.
It's inherently a hard game.
Except
for the last guy,
how long
I
does
guess.
it take typically?
If I'm in a circle looking at an Oreo,
You know.
I mean,
How long does it take for this
you give
game
me
to be
ideal
completed?
scenario, 3 minutes.
No, but this game.
I don't know. I never been. I never get invited. Too quick.
I don't believe you, but guess.
You're raw dogging it, right? You and
Yeah.
6 other dudes just staring at a cookie.
Yep.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Every 2 minutes, everyone should have to say what they're thinking about. Everyone should have,
Every 2 minutes.
every 2 minutes.
Every 2 minutes, say something about one of the other guys you like. Greg,
You're always there for me.
hey, Greg, now I'm looking at it. You got great forearms, all right?
What's funny is you'd want to hit like a personality angle. Because if you're like, Greg, you got great eyes. It's like, you thinking about that right now, bro?
I'm staring into him.
Don't look at me.
God, this is bad. This is all bad.
A fluffer,
A fluffer.
legendarily on porn sets, is, I guess, a PA
Kind of.
who is
Real personal
there to like keep the guy erect.
Yes.
Because you would assume that that'd be difficult to maintain for like a 4-hour shoot or however long it takes.
So they just like whole
Audio
time,
only listeners.
they just the wind's passing by. The wind's there's a constant York. My God, the forearms on those people.
I think that's why it's called a
A fluffer?
Fluff. Maybe they use like a big I always imagine like a big fan. Like one of those
big
feather fans.
a big feather. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. Anyways, so yeah.
I hate this. I hate this pod
Don't even know how we
become.
got here. Can I talk about Baki versus Kengan Ashura?
Yeah, talk about anything else.
My God. It was asshole. It was so fucking bad. Wow, was it bad. Oh my God. It was like a 4 out of 10. It was awful. Oh, it was one of the worst things I've ever committed an entire hour of my life to.
You know, I just realized.
What?
Real quick, I'm sorry. I really don't mean to derail you. You know how Stank puts like chapter titles? What could that last segment be titled?
Probably please skip this part 2.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, so Baki versus Kengan Ashura was an hour long, which was wild because it was like supposed to be a movie. And the reason that it's an hour long, they might be making a second one, which is wild to me.
Crazy.
They're like at the end of it, they're like, oh, I guess we'll do this again when we Baki.
Oh, they do a cliffhanger.
When we Baki and Kengan Ashura part 2. So basically with like Kengan Ashura is CGI and Baki is drawn, seeing the Kengan Ashura characters in drawn, because they decided to they basically like put it in the Kengan Ashura or in the Baki world where it's like everybody's drawn in the Baki art style. And it was jarring because like a lot of the characters, honestly, I don't love CGI. Kengan Ashura's CGI is incredible, and it does a good job at conveying the grittiness of the universe because everyone's like got really dark shading. Everyone's very like cut up. Like everyone's like, there's a difference between like a cut you can like get in CGI and a cut you can get from drawn, right? There's like just like more shading available in CGI that makes it look more realistic. So like it's inherently grittier, Kengan Ashura is, than Baki because of the art style. So seeing Kengan Ashura adapted to the Baki art style, I feel like took away a lot of the grittiness, and it just like made like Oma look like way just different and not a way I liked. I prefer, I said I prefer the CG, honestly. Dorothy was watching it with me. I just like was eating breakfast one day and she looked at it and she went, Baki, which was crazy. She was like, oh yeah, they draw the characters super uniquely because I've watched Baki.
Weird,
So like it's weird. Like animation is getting osmosized into her brain, like slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Like she like
Osmosized Jones.
Osmosized Lu Fei. That's her Chinese name is Lu Fei.
Who?
Dorothy.
Oh.
Yeah. And so she was like Baki, and I was like, oh my God, you're right. That was crazy. It was like one of the most impressive anime feats I've ever seen her do. This show, it's very funny because this show invalidates the existence of this, invalidates 2 whole universes, like claim of strongest man. They're like, oh, this is the strongest man on Earth. And then the strongest man is just getting introduced to a bunch of people that are also the strongest people on Earth. And it's like, hey, man, how'd you miss all these people? I feel like the entire idea of these 2 universes is all the strongest people come together and beat the ever-living shit out of each other 24/7. Yeah. And now they exist with each other. How'd those 2 ships pass each other in the night? Finishing it up here.
Do they have powers?
No.
Oh.
Punch.
Yeah.
Kind of. Oma has this ability where he's able to like increase his like heart rate, and that makes him stronger. And then there's another guy who can
like a turtle guy.
Turtle guy.
It's like a guy who can like suck his head into his chest.
Baki?
Like saw something like that in one of them.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of like there isn't powers, but there's like, oh, the human body can. There's a guy who's like, oh, I imagine like there's a bunch of joints in my arm and I can turn my arm into a whip.
Yeah, there's some fucking
he's
like
I can like bend my body. And like
yeah.
Baki last season was like, cockroaches are able to liquefy their body to run faster or something. So it's like I liquefy my body to, I don't know. It's all dumb. It's all fucking stupid. Don't watch Baki. It's a waste of your time.
That's crazy.
What's funny about this existence of this show, though, is that it assumes everybody who's watched it has seen both Baki and Kengan Ashura, which I'm like, if you've seen one, you've probably seen both.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'd want. I'd be so annoyed if like I'd invested in both of these shows. They're doing a crossover, and then the first half hour is like, here's the backstory.
Yeah.
It's fucking...
They fully just jump in and are like, all these characters, and they're going to fight. And my God, they picked the weirdest cast of characters to join these battles. They took the fucking B squad, if ever there was one.
So you didn't care for it?
No, I didn't care for it at all.
How does it rank among the other big anime crossover, Jimmy Timmy?
Oh, Jimmy Timmy's way better. Jimmy Timmy's fucks, dude, because they switch art styles. Because like they put each other in like their own art style. That's fantastic. It's
so unsettling seeing Timmy in Jimmy Neutron.
You don't realize like how willing you were to ignore reality until it gets like really computer generated.
Yeah.
And animation wise, Windbreaker is better on a week by week basis than the entirety of that movie.
Yeah.
Like the fights in Windbreaker are genuinely, the fights from this most recent episode of Demon Slayer are better than any of the 3 fights we get in that 1 hour time frame.
That's a bummer, considering that's the only reason to watch a Baki thing.
The only reason. There's like multiple times where it's just 2 people and a bunch of moving fists, and the 2 people are like still, and then you see like blue and red flashes across the screen, basically, and they're not moving. It's just like ba 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 kind of thing. That happens like 3 times.
Tough. Speaking Windbreaker, unless you have more.
I have one last thing.
Okay.
Who do you think won? Baki or Oma?
Ty? Yeah, they always do that shit. It always sucks.
Yep.
It's so annoying.
And that's why they were like, we'll get you on the next Baki Kengan. It's like, no, you won't. You're never going to have a winner here.
Yeah.
You're simply not.
I hate that. They did that in like Batman vs. Superman. They do it, I think, in Godzilla and Kong. I think Godzilla like objectively won, which was impressive. Fast and the Furious, they're always tying whenever they fight like 2 good guys.
Yeah, whenever it's like, you know, like The Rock versus Vin Diesel or something, they're like, oh, good fight, bro. Yeah. But like they have actually interesting fights. This fight was nothing. Yeah. It's nothing.
Was it a tie? Like they were both like,
nope,
we can keep fighting, or do they knock each other out?
Neither.
They
get interrupted.
Ugh.
They get interrupted by 2, like Baki steps in, stops one of, Baki's dad steps in, stops one of Oma's punches, and then a powerful guy from the Kengan Ashura universe stops Baki punches, and they're both like, wow, they could have knocked us out. And then they're like, wow, this has ruined the mood for the rest of this fight, and then they both just walk off.
Stupid.
So dumb.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's awful.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
I can't, but what a like huge opportunity. Because I was like, I haven't seen either of these shows. I knew I wasn't going to watch this.
Yeah.
But I was like secondhand hyped because I was like, what a great idea. 2 just fight animes fighting.
They also brought down, like, there's so many cool characters from both universes. They simply didn't have any of them fight. They brought like Saw Pang versus like this like one Yakuza boss who's like kind of like one of the like the unspoken badasses of the universe, but like not like an important character to the story. And then Jack Hammer, who's like Baki's brother, who loses every fight he's in, loses against one of the less important people from Kengan Ashura.
Wow. What a waste.
It's nothing.
What a waste. You know what I was just thinking about?
What?
If they ever did, they would never, because why would they ever?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. If they ever did a crossover where it's Goku and Saitama, and they do, you know, they're just fucking cashing in on the meme.
Yep.
And it's like, who would win? And they fight. They should have, I think the only way you could do this and satisfy maybe everybody is you have Saitama win objectively. And then Goku is like, you know, he does his fucking, gets up and he laughs and everything. And he's like, eventually, once he heals. And then he's like, you know, you may have won, but you are like at the peak of your ability and I can improve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Except for the fact that that's
that true?
Saitama, well, here's like Saitama doesn't, like, he doesn't, like, his entire thing is that he infinitely grows through combat. It's exactly the same as Goku, where, like, he, even if he's fighting against somebody stronger than him, he will catch up to them and grow exponentially faster than him. It's the entire, like, point of the Garou arc, is that, like, Garou is stronger than him, but he catches him and grows exponentially.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
then
I do like the idea, but, like, yeah, no, you genuinely, you have to choose a side. I think it would be better to have one side really happy and one side infuriated.
Oh, yeah.
Just from a marketing standpoint.
For sure.
Like,
100%.
Imagine if Saitama actually be Goku. People would talk about it. People would watch it. People would be like, all right, oh, well, why didn't Goku block here? How was Saitama able to land this? I don't think this, like, scales well with this or something like that. I think that's way more compelling, but it's about ego. It's about, like, oh, Akira Toriyama doesn't want his character losing to one's character or something like that.
That's true. It's the creators.
Oh, it's
don't want
fully
that.
ego from the creators. They don't want, like, oh, my character's stronger. The way I would have my character lose in a heart rate. Like, that's way better. It's way better for both of us.
It's like, why? Like, I don't understand. It's such a, like, pussy move, for lack of a better word, because I really try to find a different one. It's such a bitch move to be like, oh, my anime is only good if people think he's stronger.
Than everybody.
What about your writing, dog?
Yeah.
Like, just fucking be like, my manga's writing holds up on its own. I don't care if Naruto beats him.
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing is, like, a lot of Dragon Ball's greatest moments do come from well-written dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, like Goku being like, you will not destroy my worlds, like the, like, impact of Krillin's death, like the Destructo Disc coming back to cut Frieza in half, like well-written moments building out, like, round, like full circle moments. it's not about like, oh, Goku's universal. If you like an anime because a character is strong, I mean, it's fine, but like it's dumb.
It could be part of it, but you should like other things about it.
You should
like,
enjoy the universe over you enjoy like the strength of the characters.
Yeah, it also like I don't know. Whatever, we'll move on.
Can we talk about Dungeon Meshi?
Sure.
Real quick. You're not caught up.
You don't want to talk about Windbreaker?
I want to talk about Windbreaker in a second. You haven't seen the episode.
Yeah, okay.
But I want to talk about Dungeon Meshi.
Dungeon Meshi either.
Real quickly.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Okay.
No spoilers. We're getting one more episode this upcoming Thursday, and then it's gone. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that Dungeon Meshi. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with
Is this the best anime of the season?
Oh, so easily.
Yeah.
So he's actually, when we talk about Windbreaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
We'll see.
So Dungeon Meshi, they did like Senshi's backstory.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were
absolutely.
saying it's dark.
It was dark as shit. It was real dark, and they do it in a really compelling food-driven way. Like it's really interesting. Like Senshi's trying to like try a food he tried at one point in his life, and there's like huge amount of consequence behind it. It's really, really well done. It's so well done. Also, it was revealed to us because we didn't know this. The mangaka for Dungeon Meshi, a woman. So add that to the list
Well,
of
because it's good.
Yeah, add that to the list of incredible manga written by women. And then Laios solves racism this episode, which
Let's
is
go.
perfect.
Huge. Oh, sorry. Spoiler. They're still racist.
Yeah. No, there's still racism in the fantasy world.
Gotcha.
Not anymore. Laios got rid of it.
Let's go.
Yeah, Laios got rid of racism.
Laios.
Yeah.
If anyone could, it'd be him.
It would absolutely be him. It's also come to my attention recently.
Where could this be going?
Not that I was oblivious to this fact prior.
My God.
But I had a sit
doing.
down conversation with Stella recently at this the high tea thing we went to, which
Stella Chu.
we should probably talk about at some point.
Yeah, sure. I forgot about it.
Yeah. But
That's why I got this outfit, actually.
Yeah, so we got invited to a Black Butler event over at the Ardent in West Hollywood, and they were doing this high tea event where there was like paid butlers to like go around who weren't actual butlers, they were actors, which explains why they weren't butlering. They simply weren't butling.
Yeah. Well, real butlers aren't hot, typically,
Well,
I feel.
fair. But it was this gorgeous little cafe. Me and Danny got invited by Crunchyroll. Shout out to Tatiana. And we were there with Stella, Daniel, Jasmine, a bunch of other people. Michaela was your plus one. And we got like food, which was really good. And we were like promoting the public school Saga, I need water. And
the public school agua.
Of course, the aga.
Spanish Freudian slip.
While I was there, I was talking to Stella, and we were talking about Dungeon Meshi, and I was like, who do you ship Marcel with? And they were like, Fallon. And I was like, no, I get it. But part of me was like, oh, Fallon and Laios. But like, I was like, look at it now, and like, I'm so deep in like Dungeon Meshi ship talk. They're like, oh, Senshi and Laios, and I'm like, I didn't even register me that Senshi. I didn't even register me that Senshi would be a gay man.
Yeah.
And I was like, looking back at it now, especially with the elf development, it makes a whole lot of sense. He was so willing to slip into that personality, but it came to my realization that like, my ships have been completely inaccurate this entire time.
Damn.
I
see Laios and Senshi for sure.
It'd be adorable.
They love cooking.
I think they're more like a Mac and Charlie though.
If they got together, I have such the impression that everyone else in the party is dead weight to them. If like they only want to hang out to each other.
Have you met Kabru? The like gorgeous melanated man with blue eyes.
Yeah.
Apparently the
Other
real
Laios.
Yeah. The real ship is Kabru and Kabru and Laios.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He had like a whole episode on his own. I was like, what the fuck are these people?
Surprisingly compelling characters. They're definitely in the second half of the 24 episodes. They have more screen time, and it's a really cool party, actually.
Yeah.
So that's my news. Laios solved racism, and
that's hype.
Senshi's backstory was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got to hang out with the voice actors of
You did.
I got to you left.
I did.
I hung out with the voice actor who plays Sebastian from Black Butler and Gyotaro from Demon Slayer.
He was Gyotaro?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And he was the younger one with curly hair.
Ah, gotcha.
Brandon. And
no, like not younger Gyotaro, like he was like the younger one out of the voice
at
actor.
the table.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and CL from Black Butler. All those voice actors were there.
Yeah.
Sebastian's voice, they were all lovely. Sebastian's voice actor, I don't know if you saw him, he was bald.
Pearls. I talked to him a
Pearls.
little bit. Yeah.
Just like the coolest dude.
Yeah, he was like, hey, he was complimenting the shit out of me. He was like, I love your shirt. And I was like, I'm going to kiss you.
Just an awesome, kissable dude.
Yeah.
He was great. He also plays Scar in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh my God.
Crazy range.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. That was super cool.
Daniel went back to their house.
Daniel went to their house and hung out with them further because Daniel
So
is
classic Daniel.
the absolute Rizzler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna hang out with them at some point.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah.
Should have him on the pod. Have the whole cast on the pod. Just kidding. You guys hate interviews. You guys hate interviews.
It's so different. I get it. I get hating interviews. Whenever podcasts...
Are we just bad interviewers?
One, yes. Whenever I watch podcasts, though, or listen to podcasts...
I
they're
hate
like,
interviews.
Yeah.
I skip interviews on podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I only want the people.
Yeah, when they bring other people on, I'm like, hey, if I wanted Auntie Donna to be on here, I'd fucking watch Auntie Donna.
Yeah, that's very fair. I don't know who Auntie Donna is.
No.
Is that an actual poll here?
You'd like them. It is a poll.
Okay.
They do, they're like Australian sketch comedy.
Gotcha.
But I listen to this podcast that loves them. I also like them. Whenever they're on, I'm like, I'm fucking tuning in for just my boys. Like, so I get it.
I guess I do get it.
Because then it also
it's
shifts
so
the
good
focus.
so good for growth.
Is
they're
it
like,
though?
hey,
No
I'm
one
a-
likes it.
Yeah, but like when we had Stella on, we grew the fastest we've ever grown because like a couple of the TikToks blew up.
I'm blind.
Oh, what happened?
It splashed my eye.
Oh, you're fine. I tell you, dude, when I went to Palm Springs last weekend, I was cooking up some eggs with habanero in them. With jalapeno in them. I was chopping up jalapeno and I was hungover and I was like, oh, I'm so hungover. And I thought people were being dramatic when they were like, do not touch your eyes when there's pepper on your hands. Holy fuck, I went blind for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like medically ill-advised.
Dude, it was not fun. And then I poured water in it and they were like, no, don't do water. That makes it worse. And oh my God, did it make it worse?
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, you're like advised to see a doctor if that happens. Because you'll go blind.
I'll tell you right now, if you want to get over a hangover, rub some jalapeno in your eye because it's like way worse. Everything else goes away.
You do not care about
No,
that.
the hangover goes away immediately. You hit fight or flight mode in a second.
It's like, oh, I'm so hungover. Take me to the emergency room.
I'm gonna need to go. I'm gonna need to go now.
I can't see. I can't see a damn thing.
I couldn't open my eyes. You can't opening your eyes feels like you're like getting the sun to them. It's awful.
Terrible.
Can we talk about My Hero?
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, speaking of Dungeon Meshi, actually,
Yeah.
I was adventurous. I almost said biologically.
Culinarily.
Culinarily.
Did you go past episode 12?
No. I ate something fancy.
Oh.
I went to a West Hollywood restaurant.
Oh, I thought we were gonna talk about the egg tart you ate today. That was also adventurous.
That was good.
Yeah.
Big egg week, actually, you'll find. Because that was good.
He ate a Macanese egg tart.
Yeah, it was an egg tart.
Yeah.
Definitely just a dessert.
Yeah.
The egg is just a tricky and thinking it's a delicious breakfast.
I mean, it's like yellow and kind of jelly.
Yeah, well, it's like a cake.
It's a steamed egg, yeah.
Yeah. I had that, which was good. And then I went to this West Hollywood restaurant that I don't remember the name of, but they had on it was called the Pasta Papa. And I was like,
You're going to tell me that you tried pasta and you're going to say it was creative?
You'll see.
Okay.
I was like, good sir. Look at me.
Make me you're as spicy as me.
Make me your finest Pasta Papa. And I was like, what is this? And he was like, it's like house-made pasta, so thick as hell.
Okay.
With scrambled eggs, with like a scrambled egg sauce and bacon bits.
Scrambled egg sauce?
Yeah. It was sick.
Sure it was.
It's one of those things where you're like, what could this taste like? And then you eat it and you're like,
oh, that makes sense.
You know what? I get it.
Yeah. That tastes like eggs and pasta.
Because the pasta kind of just tastes like, it tastes like a burrito that exploded. The pasta kind of tastes like tortilla, essentially.
Okay.
Because it's like sauceless pasta.
I'm not going to give you as much credit as you wanted here.
It's good.
You're telling me you ate pasta, eggs, and bacon.
Yes.
Danny, that's hardly outside of your repertoire of things you currently eat.
The Pasta Papa is extremely culinarily
Listen,
adventurous.
there's a couple of controversial Italian food papas. I don't think Pasta Papa's there yet. I think Pasta Papa is the safe Italian papa.
In order of controversy, it goes
Papa John's.
at most controversial.
Oh, absolutely. Is there more controversial papa than Italian food
I was
markets?
going to go least to most.
Okay.
So then it's exciting.
Pasta Papa.
Yes. Big Mama, Big Papa.
Like the pizza place.
Yeah.
Because their food's not that good and they trick you into buying 8 feet of pizza. Yeah, Big Mama,
Yeah, you
Big
always
Papa.
end up buying too much pizza.
Or even 2 pizzas is too much pizza.
Papa John's?
Papa John's.
Yeah.
I'd say that's about it.
Better pizza made
By racists.
Yeah.
yeah.
made by pedophiles.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Yeah, right? Pizzagate.
Pizzagate's not real.
Nick, please.
Oh, my bad.
Nick, please. This is a podcast. We don't give real info.
My bad. I forgot we're doing QAnon out here. All right. Should we talk about My Hero?
Sure.
Can we talk about, I need to talk about the manga for like 2 seconds.
Sure.
The manga, I was going, oh my God, the manga's over. Not.
Yeah, it's back to being about His Hero Academia.
And I was like, I thought that was just going to be like them like graduating or something. I thought it was going to be like, oh, we're going to like, oh, this is what year 2 was like. This is what year 3 was like. Nope. Just introduced a new character, reintroduced like the Todoroki family drama. It's going to be like another 30 or 40 chapters in the epilogue. Wow. There's a villain. There's a villain in the epilogue.
I guess there has to be though, right?
I figured it was going to be like, hey, Deku, you have a stupid haircut. Let's figure that out.
I can't believe the entirety of My Hero Academia technically takes place over the course of a year.
Yep.
There is no goddamn chance.
Wait until you hear about One Piece.
There's no goddamn chance they are learning enough on a day-to-day.
I think that's the issue.
They're never in fucking class.
And now they are because they're getting back to their My Hero Academia.
Yeah, My Hero roots.
They're getting back to their now second years.
One Piece
They're
is
class
over the-
2A,
One
which
Piece
I
is
will
over-
never get right.
One Piece is over the course of like 4 or 5 years.
No, hardly.
Yeah.
The pre-time skip is 3 months. The time skip is 2 years.
3. I guess you know what? They roll up to an island, and the villain immediately makes himself known, and then they beat him that
They're on
day.
most islands for a day.
That checks out. That makes sense, actually.
They're on Dressrosa for like a day. They're on Thriller Bark for like 2 days.
I just assume they're at sea for a while.
Yeah. The most of their time together is between islands.
3 months.
3
So
months
you're-
is the pre-time skip.
How long does it take to sail from... What's an equivalency? How long does it take to sail from, like, Rhode Island
Okay.
to Europe? On a sailboat.
On a sailboat?
Yeah. I don't know
months?
why I think you would know.
2.5 months.
2.5 months.
Probably,
You're telling me all these fucking islands are, like, within sight of each other?
Well, within sight, but they're like a couple of days like ride,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But not as far... Well, I guess that's across our world. I guess so.
Well, we have to realize is the One Piece world, they like pre-time skip is half the world. Right? So because they have to go across the red line.
How are all these climates, like, being different?
Because it's on the Grand Line where climate like that's why like
Because
Chopper's
it's silly?
Well, yeah, because like the Grand Line is like Chopper's Island is snow, but Chopper's Island happens immediately after Alabasta, which is a desert island.
It's weird that no one's ever... Maybe they have. I don't know. Because celestial dragons exist. No one's ever been like, astrologically, how does any of this work? Right? Because all these islands are only a day apart, allegedly, but have different climates.
Well, they're like further than a day apart, but also the Grand Line.
I guess a day apart is far. But the Grand Line, the sun doesn't give a shit about the Grand Line.
And you know who doesn't give a shit about any of this? Oda.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Oda doesn't give a fuck. He's like, oh yeah, there's fire islands.
Yeah.
There's a half fire, half snow island. There's poison islands. There's an island that's technically a boat, Thriller Bark.
People love a hot cold, huh?
People
In
love
Japan.
a hot cold. They love a split down the middle and icy hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the time skip, like Luffy spends 2 years with Rayleigh in the time skip. He spent more time with Rayleigh than his own crew by like a long shot.
I don't know.
They spend a good amount of time on Wano. They spend like 2 or 3 weeks on Wano.
Nice.
But that's like the most time they've ever spent on an island.
Right.
Dressrosa, like Whole Cake. Whole Cake is like 12 hours.
They got places to be.
Like the laugh tail. My thing about One Piece being so short in terms of a time scale kind of makes like getting the One Piece like, it was kind of
Yeah,
easy.
not that hard.
Yeah, they did it in like 6 months. Yeah, like, oh yeah, we take 2 years off the train, but it's like, imagine like, oh, I'm going to get the One Piece at 17. You're back home by 21.
True.
Like, got it.
True.
Fuck.
I feel that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, take some time here. Age. It would be better if they aged for the live action crew.
It'd be so cool if they were like 30 by now.
By the way, yeah, a guy was like, oh, I represent Makinu. Never text me back.
I don't know what you're talking about.
On our ride to college,
yeah.
I was like, absolutely, dude's getting McAnoo on the show.
Yeah.
Never text me back.
The Yojimbo guy.
Yeah, the Yojimbo
He's
guy.
got better things to do.
Probably like representing McAnoo. Yeah, that was fun for me.
Yeah.
Fucking. But outside of that, you want to talk about that? You want to talk about the My Hero anime?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm sick of everyone acting like Monoma isn't the strongest person in the universe.
Yeah, what's his, he makes portals.
Oh, he can steal up to 3, I think it's either 3 or 5 quirks for 5 minutes at a time.
It was cool because he was
By touching people.
He like made the portals.
Yep.
And then he was like, I control the puppet strings. And I was like, whoa, look at you having your moment. And they fight a little. And then it comes back to him.
And
he's
then
like,
he just kept yelling it.
Keep saying it.
Yep. He's like, I'm pulling the strings. I was like, hey, man, let's mix in a different dialogue option here.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Wild.
What'd you think of the episode?
Fun.
Yeah,
I think the animation isn't good.
It's like not on, it hasn't kept up with the standard of other anime. You know, I was thinking about it.
It's just like also like there's a moment when Todoroki and Dabi meet. In the manga is like this incredibly beautiful moment. And it's like All Might statues like right behind Dabi, and it's like on top of them. It's well shaded. It's like this gorgeous, like the problem is the MHA manga is really good looking and Bones is allergic to shading.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm not gonna be a stickler about it, but like it's not as good as it deserves to be.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, it's interesting because I've thought back on like my favorite My Hero moments. Because I was like, man, I always remember this being like really well animated. Yeah. It's not that it's bad. It's just kind of mid. It compared to like JJK, Demon Slayer, like all these top tiers.
Running against Demon Slayer is rough.
Yeah, it's all these like heavy hitters. And people will be like, oh, well, you know, Demon Slayer is like the peak of animation. You can't compare it. My Hero is like $1 billion franchise. Like
they have so much money.
They can and they're seasonal. So like take a bit. Yeah. But anyway, I was thinking back on these old like scenes that were like the highlight scenes.
Like Deku versus Muscular.
Like Deku, no.
What do you mean? Deku's first fight against Muscular is incredible.
I'm so sick of hearing about this. What is this like global gaslighting everyone's doing? Anytime I like people bring up like top My Hero moments, people bring up Deku and Muscular.
It's the first big scale fight. All Might versus the Nomu.
What about Stain?
Stain is a great fight.
Stain's before Muscular.
Is he?
Muscular's so nothing.
Is Stain before Muscular?
Yeah. Huh. Muscular's such a throwaway, random ass dude in my head.
Well, it's like Deku was like, this was the first time like Deku really fucked himself up fighting. Like really fucked himself up.
But anyway.
Are you sure Stain was?
I think.
I don't think so. I think Muscular is before Stain because Deku has shoot style.
No, Stain is before Muscular.
Stain is before Muscular. Crazy.
Wait, Stain is after? Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure Stain is after Muscular.
Stain is after.
Yeah, because Deku has shoot style and he doesn't have shoot style against Muscular.
Interesting. Anyway, I was thinking about these moments. A lot of the big moments aren't really like quote unquote animated. Like, and here's other than Overhaul.
Yep.
Lots of animation.
So much animation.
But a lot of these are like Deku versus Todoroki. Huge, awesome moment. It's a lot of really pretty still frames. And then like 3-second gorgeous bits of animation. Like Todoroki lifting his hand to fire the blast.
Yeah.
Deku doing his thing. It's like still shots. And then I was thinking like Deku versus Bakugo in the very first training thing. Where Deku like outsmarts Bakugo. And Bakugo does the big explosive uppercut. I was like, I remember that being sick. But it's just a bunch of really cool, either microseconds or still frames.
I think the most recent like animation part, like moment in MHA that I can think of where I was like, oh, that's dope, was honestly Class 1A versus Class 1B. I thought there was a lot of really fluid, really interesting like animation moments where it was like, it was not Korigiri, no, the bird one. Takayami.
Yeah.
Tokiyami was like hiding in the shadows, and there was like the person trying to like light up all the shadows, and then Ida doing the super fast running across like the smooth surface and all of that. There was a lot of really good moments of animation in Class 1A versus Class 1B, and I don't really get why that's getting better animation than what we're watching currently.
Well, that's the thing. I just think like, not that there hasn't been good animation in the show. It's just, there's never been like a 3-minute long, like Levi versus the Beast Titan, or like a Gojo beatdown, you know?
I don't know if I agree with
They're so micro. Overhaul's the longest. The last one I can think of is Mirko.
Mirko
Getting her leg
versus
fucked up.
against the Nomos. Yeah.
Because that's sick.
Yeah.
And that's really long.
That scene is dope as hell.
Yeah.
That scene is, anytime Mirko gets on screen, I love it.
But everything else is like a bunch of big explosions or something like. There's not a lot of like martial arts choreography that requires a lot of like animation. There's not a lot of like, I don't know. It's a lot of like big like panels, like big well-drawn panels from the manga.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's a lot of stop and go.
Huh.
It's not like JJK where it's like there'll be like a 5-minute long like just beat down that's fluid as hell.
And I think that might be the issue. I think we're trying to I think we might be like forgetting what MHA has always looked like. I don't know though. I think MHA's definitely had really well animated moments, and I feel as though that's dipped recently, but I feel like it also could be due to the fact that animation has taken such a huge step forward in the last couple of years that we're being gaslit into believing that MHA used to look better than it currently does.
That's what I think. I think the bar is just raised.
I think the bar has been raised as well, and I don't think Bones has met that bar.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Bones, and that's what I find so interesting about Studio Period, is because Studio Period is like, oh, people are loving Bleach not mostly, but like at least largely partially because of how good it looks. And they're like, we want to make sure that Bleach's like 1,000-Year Blood War arcs is one of the best looking things out still, even with how high the bar has been raised. So Studio Period, which has already made TYBW look gorgeous, made a new section of their animation team called the Movie Animation Team, and then they put TYBW to that. So they're like, we want it to look even better in Core 3.
Yeah. And
I'm like, that is the idea. That's a studio staying committed to being ahead of the animation curve, and I don't think Bones is doing that for MHA, which is a shame because we're heading into the best MHA content in my mind.
Yeah. In my mind.
In my mind. I make this all happen. How do you feel about floating UA?
I liked. It's silly that they made it UA, right? Like,
I don't. Why bring the school? Simply, why bring the school?
Seems like an extra hurdle. That's unnecessary.
Hey, if you want to make a floating island, make a floating island.
Yeah.
Don't bring the high school.
Yeah, just make it a flat surface.
Yeah, they were like, oh, like we got all the students down here building panels and all of that.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with UA. Don't bring the school.
Yeah, well, I guess because that's where the engineering room is. Underneath it?
So hardly.
Move.
They literally, their entire thing is like, we built a floating coffin in a week because Cementos, Momo, and like the 16-year-old engineering Zoom girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you're just gonna like yada 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 ectoplasm making a floating coffin, don't build it around UA.
Yeah. I loved the reveal of it's really cool because, and it's I've never seen subtitles used this cool before, because Shigaraki's like, what is this? And Best Jeanist is like, on the bottom of the screen, he goes, this is where we defeat you. And at the top of the screen, it says like the title of the thing.
Yeah.
And it says floating coffin.
Yeah.
And that's so fucking cold.
Yeah.
Because I love him being like, this is where we defeat you, is like, oh, this is where we like knock you out and then arrest you. And the title floating coffin is like, oh,
yeah,
this is where we
fucking kill you.
That was awesome. I love that. And then he says, this is where we defeat you. This is floating coffin.
Yeah.
And I was like, wish he didn't. Yeah. Just leave it to the subtitle.
Yeah, you're not playing play for me, not the crowd that you're there with.
I know, but that was awesome. Yeah, why bring the school though? Like,
Why bring the school is a ridiculous thing. How do you feel about Deku ending up battling against Toga?
That'll be fun. You told me it was Uraraka.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see.
We'll get there eventually.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't put Best Jeanist against Shigaraki.
Yeah, like, oh,
What a
hey,
bad
the
idea.
guy whose entire idea is like, I can make fabric. And it's like, hey man, that fabric's gonna lead back to him and he's simply gonna decay away.
Dude, if I would pay, actually, I'd empty my bank account to sit in on one meeting of whatever committee is ranking the heroes.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking out of their mind.
That Best Jeanist is what?
He's like 3.
Yeah.
Best Jeanist
He's
is
3.
3.
Headshot is like 4. And the guy who can make himself like a microscopic like level of like thin is 4.
The fact that the washing machine ranks at all.
His entire thing is I make a big useful soap bubbles.
Yeah.
What?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I need to be on this committee. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Crust was 7. Crust was 7. And his entire thing was shield. What a fucking asshole. Are you kidding me?
What is Hawks? Hawks is
2.
Hawks is 2 now because of Endeavor.
Yeah.
He just flies. Give
it's-
anyone else who flies knives.
It's so top heavy. It was like All Might Endeavor and then the rest is just fodder. Kamui Woods is like 8.
Well, it's funny too because like Hawks isn't even better than Bakugo.
The fucking Dragon Lady's like 12th.
That's ridiculous.
She can turn into a dragon
Yeah.
and Soap Man is above her.
Okay, here's a fun game.
Miss Mountain is not top 10.
She's a big.
She's huge.
Dragon Lady's also big.
Fair.
It's not enough to be big. That's why Hawks isn't enough to be 2 in my mind. Here's the thing. Are we ranking based on partly skill, right? So that's fair. Like maybe Hawks is
It's not though.
It's not.
It's kind of popularity.
Okay, well, it's like the boys.
Sort of, yeah.
Here's a quick game we'll play. You know, like, I'll bring up the top 5, right? Let me see. Top ranked My Hero heroes.
I could almost tell you them.
Okay, this one's whack and not telling me the real one.
Just look up top 10. It's
Top 10 pro heroes.
Endeavor, Hawks, Best Genus. I think Mirko, Edge Shot.
Fucking, wait. Manual?
Manual?
Normal hero manual. Who is this guy?
Let me see him. You give a photo there? Oh,
wait.
Ectoplasm might be top 10.
Never mind. Fat Gum is 14.
Yep.
Wait. No, they're fucking lying. What are they doing? Fat Gum's 58. All right, let me see. Endeavor is number 1.
Yes.
Hawks is 2.
Just told you that.
I'm fucking confirming.
Yep.
Best Genus
3.
is 3. Edge Shot. What does he do? What does Edge Shot do?
He's like Paper Mario. He can like turn his body into like tiny little thread, basically.
He's 4.
Yep. He's super fast. He's the fastest out of the top 10.
Do you know 5?
Mirko, right?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not that ridiculous. Have you seen her in action?
But so that's skill.
Yeah.
But she has a dumb power.
Yeah, but it's okay. So it's
Mirko takes on Mirio. Mirko loses.
It's like perceived heroism, popularity, and amount of missions completed is like the 3 criteria.
Okay. Crust.
Crust
Number
was
6.
6? I thought it was 7. Oh, okay.
He's 6.
7 would be Kamui Woods, or is he 8?
Yeah, Kamui Woods.
Okay. 8 is it Soap Guy?
It's Wash.
Yeah.
It's the washing machine.
Yep. 9 is it might be the dragon actually, or she's 10.
It's like the samurai.
Oh, the samurai guy who retires and then
Yorori Musha.
yeah, he retires. We actually never learn his quirk.
Yeah.
And then 10
10's
is the dragon. Yep.
11's Gang Orca, who's
Yeah.
sick. I forgot about him.
No, that's not even a hear me out.
He has 2
I
penises.
would. Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
Orcas have 2 penises.
Yeah. And they're huge.
I can imagine.
They're ginormous.
That's not even a hear me out. Like that guy could get it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay. Those are the 10.
Yeah. Shout out to me for getting like 80% of those correct.
You crushed it.
Yeah.
Here's the game. Can you name any of these that should be replaced with Class 1A heroes?
Todoroki should be in the top 10 very easily.
Todoroki,
Hey, how about Cementos? The guy who can build entire like cities in a second. So
Yeah.
Cementos should be probably top 10 over the samurai who retires when things get ugly.
over the samurai. I think Mirko is usurped by Bakugo, Todoroki.
She's so strong.
She's awesome.
Here's my
love
thing
her.
with Mirko.
Also, wait a second.
What?
Speaking of this episode, is she fucking dead?
She got smacked. There was a meme going around when this chapter dropped. It was like Mirko after this chapter, and it was just her head in a jar with a bunch of prosthetics. Because it was just like, because she's already lost an arm and a leg, right?
Yeah. God, she's cool. She's like one of my favorite characters.
She's fucking so bad.
Doesn't belong in the number 5 spot, though.
My thing is, Bakugo is just her, but better. It's just like Bakugo is just fast, just as strong, just as destructive, but can also explode.
Yeah.
But the problem
has
is
ranged attacks.
they're not like the thing is Class 1A. They can't be considered because they literally just got the provisional license. I would say Mirio, obviously, yeah. Mirio's getting up there.
Tokiyomi is like underrated as hell, right?
Tokoyami.
Tokiyomi.
Yes.
wildly underrated.
He
I feel like
has
he's so strong.
some dope moments. You get to see Ragnarok, like his like biggest, strongest version of his like dark spirit thing in this upcoming arc, and it's sick.
I feel like Kirishima is like on the same level as Mirko.
The hard guy?
Yeah. She has the power of thighs.
That's fair.
Like what?
Big thighs. Kirishima's not like fast. He's just hard.
Yeah.
I say Shinso,
Which one's that?
the brain control guy. He's not class 1A.
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He literally tricked all for one into like bringing everybody out.
You know who's underrated as hell?
Who?
Sun Eater.
Sun Eater is definitely underrated.
I love Clam Hands.
Clam Hands is a classic.
Yeah.
He also has a dope moment in the fight against Shigaraki.
Yeah.
He busts out like some ultimate chimera shit. It's dope.
He's fucking awesome. His design's great. His powers are awesome. Like he's Aquaman, but gets to do shit.
Yeah, more or less. He's Aquaman if Aquaman
Can
actually
if
did
he
something.
ate non-seafood,
Yeah, all the time.
but will he get non-seafood powers?
Has he only shown seafood-based powers?
I think so. Has he ever had wings? Guys, Sun Eater.
I don't know.
Oh my god, I have a mustache.
You do. Yeah. Yeah, that'll throw you off there. Fentanyl.
Let me get my stopwatch. When's the train?
Yeah, you get the 9:30 train to Tucson.
Let me see.
Has he had wings before? Yeah.
He eats chicken and gets wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the thing I would eat for
fucking
wings.
Feed this guy Shigaraki, right? Feed this guy villains. Right?
Maybe. Okay, here's my thing. All right, so Shigaraki's quirks are gone, right? But he got gross finger appendages.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not even keeping up anymore. You said his powers are gone, and I was like, okay.
Well, because Monoma's touching Aizawa, right? And he's
Yeah.
able to like use erasure on his quirks.
Yeah. Yeah, so he has this because he's a Nomu, essentially. He's like a fucking mutant. That's probably why, right? He's got like Nomu blood.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I bet.
That was actually very impressive.
I fucking can't keep up.
It's too
I can't keep up with this
It's
shit.
a perpetual state of too much.
It's too much. I hate I have all the powers. Wasn't that Nine's shtick?
Yep.
I don't know why he loves the coolest part about My Hero from the beginning.
Is having
was-
to get creative with what you have.
Yeah, that's like the theme. And he's so good. The mangaka was so good at coming up with powers.
Yep.
Because I've tried. I've been like, I want to make a short film that's like anime inspired. Let me think of 2 powers. Can't do it.
That aren't like so fucking run of
That
the mill.
aren't just fire.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I simply can't. It's
Bitches
really
love
hard.
fire.
Fire's fun. Fire's awesome. It's so good. It's so hard to come up with powers. He's so good at it. And the fun of My Hero was like, oh, put Froppy up against Bakugo. What does that fight look like?
Yeah.
How does Uraraka use her powers to beat Todoroki?
And they figure it out. That's
Yeah.
the most impressive part is that they figure it out and you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I think Uraraka is actually probably the best circumstance of that, where she's like, oh, like she has to get
against
genuinely
Bakugo.
creative.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, with like how she's gonna like build this out, and you're like, oh, she has a huge IQ.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he can just control his being kind of turned big finger man.
Yeah, he's a Play-Doh man.
Is big finger.
But he can't decay.
No.
But he was decaying Best Genius' stuff.
Because Monoma wasn't there yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
He's pulling the strings.
I'm the puppet.
I'm Puppet Man. There we go. Why don't we have a Puppet Man? Oh, that'd have been dope. A puppet ability, a puppet quirk.
Like
Konkoro is the word you're looking for.
Oh, you know what I was thinking
What?
earlier today? The Naruto movie, Showtime.
Yep.
When they make a live action Naruto movie,
Yeah.
yes or no? How much? Scale of 1 to 10. How scary do you want it?
Okay.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
I don't want to say Hunger Games because Hunger Games, it's too YA. I want it to be like the Force of Death should be creepy. What's this movie coming out right now? The Watchers or something, where there's like a bunch of people in like a house.
The Strangers?
No. That's Strange is great. Dennis is in it, which is hilarious.
Well,
Yeah. The Blackberry? He was in Blackberry. The Dennis from Always Sunny.
yeah.
I forget his name. Anyways, the Watchers is like, it's like this, like, oh, they're in this house. You can't go out during like, I want the Force of Death to feel like impending doom. Orochimaru should be terrifying. Gaara should be terrifying. And the problem is they're going to like accurately cast everyone. Like everyone's gonna look accurate.
Yeah,
so they're
say
gonna,
why this is a problem.
They're gonna be making a 13-year-old's boy like try to seem terrifying, which like you can do. It's happened.
So young. I hate how young they are.
Yeah, it's gonna be so hard to make a 13-year-old boy be scary.
I guess you have to start this young because they're gonna want like 11 Naruto movies. And so by like the Great Ninja War, they're gonna be 20 because of time.
40, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't. But I don't know. Give me 16. Start at 16.
You can make a 16-year-old scary. You can make like a young-looking 16-year-old scary. Just like a 13-year-old playing like broken, demented, like sand monster is just gonna be so hard for me to buy into.
Because if you start at 16, 16 to 20 looks way different. Like they clearly age. You get from 20 to 30. You have like a full, in Hollywood, you have a full 10 years before people even notice they're aging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I wish they start at 16. I always hate like age accurate casting. It was like whack in Avatar.
Yeah.
You can get good kid actors. Lately, they just don't do it. Is the problem.
It's
way harder. But where I was going with this is I was thinking about it. I feel like so many people, including Naruto, forget just how fucked and scary Naruto used to be.
Yeah.
And I mean,
the manga was way scarier.
The manga's
Shino
crazy.
blows a dude's arms off in the manga.
What's his name? With bugs.
Yeah, with bugs.
That's crazy. Oh, well, I love they really lean into like, hey, this is like school for ninjas, but it's like teaching them to kill.
Yeah.
Like it's not like My Hero where it's like we're apprehending people. You are assassins.
Yes. Jump no jutsu is the number one thing you're learning.
Yeah, and it's so fucking cool. Kankuro's so scary.
So scary in the beginning. His iron lotus, like when he's throwing people in a puppet and then filling them with holes.
It's insane.
Terrifying.
It's insane because he just rolls up. They just roll up all mysterious and they're like, what's your deal? And he's like, I have this puppet. And then he like does that to a guy. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, he's about to like fight kids.
Yeah. And then Gaara, like the umbrella guy comes over and like he's like blows a dude up and then uses the umbrella to stop his guts from hitting him.
I love that. That's so bold because that's like, and then they become main protagonist characters.
Yep.
Like that'd be like if fucking like Tail Guy knocked a dude's head off in like season 2.
And then they was like, I've changed. It was like, what?
It's just, I really hope.
You know what's funny? I think his name might also be Iguro.
I really hope the movie, I don't know, it like won't. I'm sure it'll be like tame as hell.
You think so?
I don't know, because it's so hardcore.
Oh, Jito.
I like hope, because Orochimaru's scary as hell.
That's so scary.
He's so scary, especially because it's like Orochimaru is this great, like, he's like the Voldemort to Harry Potter, where like the first 4 movies of Harry Potter, there's scary elements, but it doesn't get scary until Voldemort appears.
Actually pulls up.
Because then
it's
makes
the Goblet of Fire like genuinely a horror movie.
Well, because he rolls up, kills a kid, and is like, now you're dealing with adults.
Yeah.
And that is such a cool, scary concept of like, we have this thing full of kids. Like we have a like movie that stars kids, and then the adults are now the antagonists.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about Orochimaru is he shows up and he's like, now, like, Kakashi's not here. I'm in your training exam. Yeah. I'm about to fuck you up.
Sasuke goes like hand to hand with Orochimaru in the Forest of Death and like actually does pretty well. Yeah. So that I would love for it to be like absolutely terrifying once they get to the Forest of Death. I'm just hoping, my biggest fear for the Naruto movie is that it's campy. I just don't want it to be campy at all. I want it to be like genuinely terrifying or like just gritty. Yeah. Because that's just what OG Naruto was. It was fucking gritty.
Yeah.
That's what I want more than anything. All right, let's talk about Wind. We still have Windbreaker and Kaiju number 8.
Holy shit.
Maybe, fuck me. God damn. I told you we have a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
Windbreaker you didn't see.
We spent 15 minutes talking about your gross porn.
Whoa, my Ucky Cookie? We'll do another 15 on it right now. I swear to God.
Hated
it.
I read the comments. No one was into it.
They loved it. Don't you dare.
Go on.
Windbreaker.
Yeah.
You know how last week we were talking like, oh, I hope the show doesn't like take itself too seriously and try to be intelligent?
Uh-huh.
They did that this episode, and they did it perfectly. They did such a good job. This is an episode that features absolutely zero fighting and it is just compelling, interesting storytelling with characters that you begin to love for reasons that you didn't know you would love them. Like it's a huge Umamiya episode. He's just Gojo. He's literally, I understand Umamiya is voiced by Gojo, so I'm gonna be like, oh, he's just Gojo. He's just Gojo.
Just Gojo. He's just Rengoku. Just Smiley mentor.
He's Smiley, strongest guy around, and he just wants to hang out with his buddies. So they're just like all like sharing a meal. Like after the fight, like talking about how they're gonna be friends after this. It's like really cool. It's really like there was, obviously the last episode is all about like Choji and Kame's growth, but we now see how that growth is actually like reflecting upon their dynamics with people around them in this episode. And Joe, there's like what I said about this episode is like it's genuinely very good, and that this episode proves that the show can be good even without fighting. Like the choreography and the animation of this show is what makes it incredible, but the storytelling coming through and shining at the tail end of the season gives me faith that this is going to be a much better built out show and universe than Tokyo Revengers ever was.
Interesting.
And I'm stoked on it.
Is this better or worse than Dungeon Meshi?
Oh, it's not nearly as good as Dungeon Meshi. Dungeon Meshi is like one of my favorite anime in the last like most recent years.
Wow.
I love Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah.
It's literally just like, it's like I have not a singular complaint about Dungeon Meshi, and you will never hear me say like an ill word about it. It's like, it's not only sweet, but it's well told, it's well animated. Studio Trigger does a fantastic job with it. I think it tells a compelling story in a non-traditional way. We were talking about how so many fantasy anime are like copy and paste. People are like, well, have you seen Dungeon Meshi? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Like, but Dungeon Meshi is a copy and paste world, but telling a non-copy and paste story.
Yeah.
Like nothing about how the Dungeon Meshi world is built out is unique at all. Yeah. They go into a dungeon. They have to clear the dungeon. There's a mage at the bottom.
They go to a dungeon and then they meshi.
Yeah. They have to go to a dungeon, get to the bottom floor. It's is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? It's so many other like dungeon based anime.
Yeah, it's solo leveling.
But
it's in medieval time.
Kind of, and it's like fantasy solo leveling essentially. It's the least original story of all time, but it tells a different kind of story in that fantasy world, which I find incredibly compelling. So, no, Dungeon Meshi is better than Windbreaker, but of the things that just started releasing like 10, 11 weeks ago, Windbreaker by a landslide. And then now we can talk Kaiju number 8. Best episode.
Really?
Of the season. You don't think so?
It's okay.
You don't think this is the best episode of the season?
No, actually, it's pretty good.
It's the first episode of, what I wrote is the air raid, like on I forget, the Arasaka or whatever, the fortress they're in. This is where the manga gets really good. Because like prior to this is all introduction, right? Like basically all they've done is kill one kaiju.
Yeah.
They did like an introduction thing. Number 9 shows up twice. You're like, oh my God, it's number 9 to like show you this is going to be our primary antagonist moving forward. This is the point where like number 9 and all the other like identified kaiju start to make their active move against like the defense force. And this kind of like where we're at in MHA is where like a war basically starts. Like this is the beginning of a war.
This is like the Shibuki incident. What is it called? Shibuya incident.
Shibuya incident.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of a war that's still going on in the manga currently.
Yeah.
Like this is the introduction. Like this tips with this like air raid basically tips a domino that leads all the way to where we currently are in the manga.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like basically a sprint until that moment of just like high paced action. And that's what makes the manga really good. So the introduction of 10, the one that Hoshina's fighting, is like 10 is really good. How do you feel about his voice?
Fine. Nothing.
I like how like deep and gurgled it is, but it's also like kind of hard to understand at times.
Yeah. You know what? This was probably the best episode. Me watching it on your couch on my phone while you watch Demon Slayer after anime IRL was not the most conducive to
it was like watching it on an airplane. Like it was not a great scenario.
No, but it is really good. I like all the Rodans. They fight a bunch of Rodans.
Oh, the
Godzilla.
Wyrens. Yeah.
But fight a bunch of Rodans. It's like I just don't like Kaiju number 8, I think.
Oh, is that it?
I think I've just like come to terms with like I don't know. It's like this is my like, oh, it's carried by its art / animation. Cause it's so dumb.
It's a very simple story.
It seems ridiculous to even send all these people who like It's ridiculous to like train these soldiers and be like, all right, go out there. Your bullets might not work, but your friends might.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd fucking quit. I'd not do this.
If I'm looking over and I'm just my bullets are bouncing off and like there's a blonde girl running around with a fucking axe just chopping dudes in half. I'm like, what am I doing here?
That's what I'm saying. It's a bullshit. Morale should be at like a historic low for any military ever, because every episode a new thing comes out, and they're, whether it's a mushroom or a fucking gray goopy guy, and they're like, what, this guy's not supposed to be here, and he's here like he is every day. And they're like, he's not supposed to be here. And they send all the grunts and they're shooting at it. And it's like, we can't do it.
We can't find its weak spot.
We can't find its weak spot. And then either Kafka tells them the weak spot, or someone else comes over and they're like, don't worry, my bullets actually work.
Yeah.
And then they just shoot it in the not weak spot.
Yeah.
It's like, we're on episode 9. This is like the 12th time this has happened.
Yeah, Kikoro Shinomiya just coming in with her axe and being like, I don't need to aim for the weak spots. I'll just hit it with my axe. And it's like, fuck, man, she just got here.
It's all like the fucking army is too, it's like a power scaling power system.
Expand on that.
It's just like it just seems, I don't know, like it just infuriates me for the soldiers. That not everyone is
for the Ombu of this universe. Like, you are supposed to be powerful.
Yeah, like,
that's so funny. I love that.
Every episode, especially since it's only episode 9. 10.
Yeah.
To do like every single episode being like, what?
We're getting invaded again.
Yeah, what? This kaiju? We can't kill it. Shoot it in the nuts. All right, my bullets are bouncing off its nuts. I don't have to shoot it in the nuts. Shink. It's every episode.
I guess it kind of is. And it is definitely kind of like that.
Bullshit for them.
Well, I think that's what's so interesting about, let me tell you right now. It's a very simple story. Yeah. If anybody ever tries to tell you that Kaiju number 8 is anything but like a very basic action shonen, they're lying to you. Yeah. It's fun. It's well written. It's formulaic. It's a good time. That's why this generation is so interesting, though, in the Kaiju number 8 universe, because you have like Kikoro Shinomiya, the head of the Izuma Tech's child, the military dude who's ripped, Kafka, Reno, and Iharu, who all like turn out to be very powerful in their own rights, and because of that, and they're like, oh, this is the greatest generation we've ever seen, basically, in the face of the greatest generation of like kaiju, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because Reno is like, he's like, yeah, I'm tough too. I shoot cryo bullets. Yeah. They don't work either.
Yeah, like no one's freezing.
Shit doesn't do anything. Nobody's bullets work.
Yeah.
Just design a better bullet.
Design a bigger bullet.
Design a bigger bullet. You clearly can design something to make the bullets better. I refuse to believe you can't give everybody the good bullets.
It is funny to me, and now that we're sitting here and talking about it, right? It's basically how fast does your bullet shoot, and it's like, hey man, we can augment that with gunpowder. Like we can do that, and it's like you see like rockets bouncing off the mushroom, like the giant mushroom. They're using like artillery to like keep it like in a certain area, and it's like Mina's just shooting like a railgun. It's like, hey dude, we have railguns. Yeah. We don't need them tied to like people. Just like attach that to a plane. Why is that attached to a woman? Yeah. Like, get an AC-130 in here. Like just like get an 11 kill streak. Yeah. I think I just hate it. Yeah. That's so funny. People are going to hate that take. It's just like, it's like a fine anime. Like it's good. It's fine, but it's just popcorn. You know, it's just a junk food anime. I think it's coming out in the best possible season because no competition. It running against a not great looking MHA season and an MHA filler season is you'd be like, oh, Demon Slayer filler season. Demon Slayer season. Like, you're like, oh, why would you want to run up against like MHA and Demon Slayer? And it's like, well, neither of them are having their greatest moment right now. Yeah. It's the perfect time for Kaiju number 8 to be coming out because I'm stoked that it's coming out. And like I said, I think this is the best episode yet. And from here on out, it's going to get a lot like faster paced. And once we get introduced to things like identified kaiju weapons, like the universe like goes bonkers crazy with like a bunch of new abilities that are really fun that take you away from the, oh, my gun shoots harder. Because like Kikoro getting her axe is the first step towards the important characters not all having assault rifles. Well, that's the other thing.
fucking give everyone an axe.
Like that's the thing, but like, it only works for her because she's strong.
Yeah.
Like the fucking regular axe would bounce off everybody.
Yeah.
She's just stronger.
She's just stronger
because she said that she's stronger than the fodder.
Because she has more kaiju juice?
Yeah, more or less.
Fucking what?
She's more kaiju-like.
It's ridiculous.
She's more kaiju-like.
It's just a silly power system. It's the same thing with JJK season 1 for me, where it's not that it's bad, it's that everyone's like, Kaiju number 8's the only good, like, ongoing manga right now, other than like your usual suspects, like One Piece and shit.
I am not at the same level of hype as everyone else, and I've felt bad about it all season because, like, especially when we went to Comic Palooza and everyone's like, "Oh, Kaiju number 8, best like animated season." I'm like, I'm just not there. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna watch every episode that comes out. I'm not there with
I can be proven wrong. If we had this podcast when Demon Slayer season 1 was out, I'd get so much hate because I was like, this like. It looks fine. It's like good, like, but it's like just popcorn. Season 2 comes out. It's like my favorite anime ever. So like, I'm fully willing to be proven wrong.
Everything from here is the best part of the manga.
Well,
so it should be more fun moving on.
It's just
Maybe rewatch episode 10 on like a bigger TV.
Yeah. This was a good one. I liked it. There's one line, this sound nothing, but there's a line where blonde hair and green hair, who are fucking.
Blonde hair and green hair.
Yeah.
No.
2 guys.
You're talking about the melanated man and the green hair.
Yes.
He doesn't have blonde hair, does he?
The melanated guy does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Blonde hair and green hair.
Whatever. Yeah. Oh, they're absolutely fucking.
They're fucking.
Yeah.
And he's like, blonde hair is like, I'm going to draw its attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot it from the front. You run in the back and attack its weak spot.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It also upset me. Yep.
And the green guy goes, all right, but you owe me.
Yeah.
You have the easy job.
He gets the kill. That's the thing. He's like, you owe me. And it was like, oh, did you want to draw the fire? That also pissed me off.
You owe him what? This dude's the one getting attacked by a monster.
Yeah. He was like, oh yeah, I'll draw its fire. And I was like, is it because you have to move? It's because you have to run? That also, I was like, why would he owe you for this?
Yeah, that seems like the easy job.
Yeah, that was funny. That was very funny that we both picked that up. But yeah, no, also ended with a wildly abrupt ending. Yeah. It was just like...
Just stopped.
Yeah, it's like Kaiju number 10 getting like massive, and then it's like, oh, episode over.
Which leads to your, once again, qualm, these episodes aren't long enough.
I think this is the first episode that broke that. Because I think this was like 12 minutes of action at the end of the episode.
A lot happened.
Yeah.
But then it stopped.
That's fine.
Okay.
My issue with the previous episodes was like, it was like 4 minutes of action at the beginning of the episode and then 16 minutes of like build up for the next action that was just beginning in the other one. This one, it's like an entire episode. Like Hoshina versus 10 is like a 10-minute fight already.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed this episode a lot.
It was good. I liked it too. I'm like thinking back on it, like lots, like relentlessly good animation.
Yes.
And great music, as always.
Yep.
Love the music.
Nobody loves me the way you do.
I can't believe that's one you latch onto. I love the like, I'll see hell die within your eyes.
I hate both the songs. I hate both songs.
I love those.
So goddamn much.
The opening one's awesome.
Oh, they're awful. All right, can we talk about Helluva Boss?
Yeah. Fuck me, we got a lot.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to play the game today.
No.
We're just simply not going to play the game today. Okay. I have seen all the way up to I'm now starting season 2, episode 6.
Oh, you're almost caught up.
I'm almost caught up.
You haven't seen episode 6.
No.
You have 3 episodes.
I've seen the beginning of episode 6, like 4 minutes of it. Like I've seen like Asmodeus and the clown be kind of cute.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're not in love.
What do you think?
Okay. Show? All right. I'm gonna say some things here. I'm gonna say some things, and then I'm gonna say some other things. Okay. And some of those things, people are gonna be like, "Good job." And some of those things, people are gonna be like, literally dying. Dig yourself into a hole and never crawl out. Yeah. Season 1 is so nothing.
Really?
It's fine. It's good.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just I can tell that they didn't really know what they were doing until season 2. Mm-hmm. And I might feel I think I didn't really formulate this opinion until I started season 2, because I started watching season 2 and I was like, oh, this is like Has Been Hotel level good.
Yeah.
Season 1 is not.
Wow.
It's all right. So I'm gonna go through my like notes one by one, and we'll just talk about them when we do it. Is Moxie Billy from like
Yes,
He
Billy
is?
and Mandy.
He's
Yeah.
from Billy and Mandy.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. I love that. First thing I noticed, I was like, that's fucking Billy.
Yeah, he's Zim from Invader Zim.
Love this boss murderer guy. Now I realize I was talking about Blitzo.
Yeah.
I have a very, very complicated relationship with Blitzo. Somebody DM'd me when I said I was like starting it, and they were like, it's Brandon Rogers, who I've met at a party, and I was really drunk, and I kind of embarrassed myself. And it was New Year's, I was hammered, we were party hopping, I was at the Carrot House, he was there, and I was like, I love your content, never underestimate how much your content does for people, you're like one of the most talented people, and one of the—
said that to you?
I said that to Brandon Rogers, and I was like, you are one of the most talented people on the internet. I formulated a large part of my humor based off your humor. And he was like, wow, that's super sweet. Thank you so much. And then I met his boyfriend, who was also very nice. And then I was like, I love your jacket, to his boyfriend. And then I walked away because I was like, I need to not be here before I embarrass myself. And I think about it almost nightly.
Sounds like not an embarrassment. I had no idea who Brandon Rogers was before watching this show.
Did you not?
No, I've never seen him
Oh my
before.
God, I love his content.
People are like, you should check it out. And I looked down, I was like, I seem too old for this.
No, dude, he's like
too late.
He's a YouTube 1.0er.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like edgy. Like it's definitely like for adults. Like he's definitely saying
Have you ever seen
slurs,
you ever heard
but-
like, I'm not going to your fucking baby shower, Barbara?
No.
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh my God, dude. I grew up on his content. I love him.
But yeah, it seems like I missed it.
Somebody reached out to me on DM and they were like, you're going to love Helluva Boss. You're super Blitzo coded.
Oh boy.
And I was like, at that point, I was like 2 episodes in, 3 episodes in. I was like, nice.
Yeah.
I was like, I like him. He's funny. He's quirky. He's got his shit together. And then I realized that was a fucking insult. And I'm really upset about it because I have a complicated relationship with Blitz.
Yeah.
Oh, the way he treats Stolas. The way he treats Stolas. And then he's like, there goes through this entire arc where he's like, I push everybody away from myself. I'm an asshole. And he's like going through his phone. He has like nobody to call because he pushes everybody away from him. Like as like everybody tries to get close to him. He pushes people away from him. And I was like, I thought he was just funny and he fucked everybody. Nope. So there was that. I said this Stolus guy is thirst personified.
Yeah.
Yep.
I told you when we were at the con or at Comic Palooza,
Yep.
you were like, maybe I'll check out Helluva Boss to know what you're talking about.
Because you said there was a character that was better than Sir Pentious.
And it stole us.
Which we'll talk about.
Okay. And I was like, when you first meet Stolas, he's gonna be wet and he's gonna be gross.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
You just want me to give you a full Stolas breakdown?
Yeah, you like him?
Do I like Stolas?
Yeah.
Of course I like Stolas.
Oh yeah,
He's
awesome.
never done anything wrong.
No. He's only been victimized.
I wanna let's do a Stolas breakdown at the end.
Okay.
Because I want you to see my live react because I did live notes every time I watch an episode. So I want you to see my live changing of how Stolas feels, how I feel about Stolas. So I said the Stolas guy is thirst personified, and I said, wait, is the boss Brandon Rogers? Because I didn't realize that he was, and I was like, oh my God, it is. That was crazy.
I like you typing actual real-time thoughts.
Yeah.
Rather than checking to see first and then writing. Like,
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
so
I
funny.
wanted to get this thought process down. I said this gay owl is an incredible father.
Yeah.
There's the episode where he takes his daughter
Octavia
to Lululand, and I was like, what a father, what a guy, absolute winner of a human being. And I said, so much happens in this show, it's a bit much. And the first 3 episodes, they do way too fucking much. They do so it's like it's ADHD crash out levels of like
it's relentless.
Dude, it's like Stolas is trying to mend his relationship with his daughter, and that could just be an arc. That you could just go to Lululand, and there could be like, oh, she doesn't like it here, she liked it here as a child. But now we have Blitzo fighting against a robotic clown, and also there's assassins trying to kill Stolas. It's way too much.
Yeah.
And like you're distracting from like what is the actual beautiful message here, which is Stolas and Octavia's relationship, by being like, Blitz is in a quandary with a robotic fucking clown. And so the first like 3 or 4 episodes, you're like, just let it breathe. I was like, let your writing breathe. You're doing too much. This pink-haired woman, this pink-horned woman is a dream.
Millie.
Verosica. My God.
Yeah.
My God. Listen, we'll talk about Millie.
Okay.
Oh, we'll talk about Millie. But when Verosica got introduced, everyone was like, oh, what a bitch. Oh, she used to fuck Blitzo. She's so hot.
Yeah.
She's so hot.
Very hot.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Everyone in these shows are so hot.
I'd fuck them all.
I'd fuck all of them.
I'd fuck them all.
There's an episode where Moxie's in like a little like assassin's turtleneck.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about when Moxie was Lady Moxie.
Lady Moxie is hot.
Lady Moxie could fucking get it, dude. I hated the voice. He was like, I'm Moxie.
Yeah.
But Lady Moxie could get it. That little tube top.
Yeah.
Loved the white hair on Mox as well.
Yeah.
3 episodes in, the music isn't as good. It's not. I'm not gonna dance around it. The music in Helluva Boss, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd even say it's sub fine.
Wow.
I'd say there's, of everything I've seen thus far, which is up until the beginning of episode 6, season 2, Asmodeus and what's the clown's name?
Fizz.
Yeah, the Fizz and Asmodeus' song.
Yeah, great. I love that
in
one.
the lust like little area is really good.
The House of Asmodeus.
Yeah, the House of Asmodeus is really good. The song where Moxie and Blitz are kind of like tripping out is okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
That one's good.
I like it. Changes a ton, which I like.
That one's really good.
The episode 2 opens with a Stolas song.
I don't remember it.
It's all like cosmic and like,
yeah.
I saw that and I was like, holy shit, the quality ramped up on this
Here's
show.
my thing with the music from season 1. It's like they didn't mix their audio correctly. Everyone sounds either like the mic is muffled or they're too far away.
Yeah,
it's
weird.
like the music is louder than their words for some reason, and it just took me out of it.
Weird. I didn't notice.
Let's see. Millie is the better half of this relationship. Not even close. Was Millie one of the S tier characters from your tier list?
Oh yeah. So was Moxie.
So was Moxie?
Yeah.
If I had, listen, I agree that both Millie and Moxie are S tier characters. If one had to make it without the other, it's Millie.
Wow.
Every day of the week.
Is it because of lust exclusively?
What do you mean? Like, because I want to fuck Millie?
Yeah.
Listen, I'd fuck Moxie.
Yeah.
I'd let them both hit. Millie's higher on the list.
Yeah.
But no, Millie's just a better character.
Wow.
She's just like, all right, in the beginning, Moxie's like the guy who can't get out of his own way. Yeah. And Millie's always saving him. And there's a couple of times where Moxie, now that the story's gone further, does end up saving Millie, and that's very sweet.
Yeah.
But like, Millie's just like, down south country girl who's gonna punch you in your mouth. And I love that from her.
The episode with Lady Moxie is the worst episode of the show, and like almost assassinates Moxie's character because he is insufferable.
He is insufferable.
He is like evil in it.
Yeah, he's like I want he just wants the attention on himself. And he's
like,
not excited.
He's like, I need validation from teenage girls. And it's like, what is this shit?
But at the same time, Millie is buying him to validation from teenage boys and girls. And like, it's definitely way worse on Moxie, but it's not good from either of them.
Yeah, that's true.
But like Millie is like feeling seen for the first time. Actually, you know what? No, fuck that. It's great for Millie. She deserves it.
She absolutely deserves it. I agree though. Millie could get it.
Oh my God. And by it, I mean peanuts.
My schween.
My peanuts.
There's a scene, this is unrelated to Millie getting it.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where someone like throws her down a flight of stairs and she like lands in a bear trap. Just cracks me up.
Yeah. And then she's like, ow, but she's like fine.
Oh.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of Millie,
Yeah.
I loved the we meet her parents thing.
Yeah.
Like Moxie trying to be like a Southern boy and all of that. But speaking of Millie and Moxie's parents, I understand that Moxie's dad's not a good guy. Him being like, oh, you're a gay, right? And then just installing dildos in the entire house. At least he tried.
A good, a decent gesture.
At least he tried, right? He fucking tried.
An absolute feat of engineering, a small fortune's worth.
Dildos. Like, I get that he's like killed. I get that he killed Moxie's mother. But I saw that and I was like, you know?
Dude, I made the same joke. I was like, look, I get that he's like offensive about it, but this is an effort.
Yeah, like he's genuinely put in the elbow work in
he
here.
He like thought he'd like this.
Yeah, and then like brought it to the absolute max. Like really fucked up his whole house with dildos for his son. Yeah. Kind of sweet.
That episode's crazy.
That episode
with the mom bit.
Yeah, it was like very
Dark
sweet.
As fuck.
Yeah, and then you see like her shoe float up. That was nuts. Somebody said I'm blitzo coded, and I agree. And then I said, do people hate the queen?
Oh, yeah.
Stolas' wife.
Oh, yeah.
I said she's kind of justified. This is early. All right, this is before. So in season 1, she's just somebody getting cheated on.
Well, that's
who
true.
hates her cheating husband.
that's
and I'm like, you know what? Fucking fair.
Yeah.
In season 2, it's revealed that like they have an arranged marriage,
Yeah.
and like she hates him, and she's like, oh, this shrimp dick over here never
Yeah.
does any of the work in
Her
bed.
favorite hobby is shit talking.
He's like literally like getting like to try and kill himself.
Yeah.
But in season 1, she's just a bereaved wife
Yeah.
losing her family to her horny husband fucking an imp. And I'm like,
true.
you know what? I'd be getting his assassination planned as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. I like
And
that.
he's like so open about it. He's like, yeah, like Blitz is coming over here to fuck me. It's like, you're still married to me. I'd have assassination on your head too. Thanos couldn't pull me out of Millie. I posted that on my story.
That's so funny because it's like, yeah, Thanos, notorious puller. Like,
I'm just saying, I thought of the strongest dude I could think of.
so funny.
Got a lot of hate on that story.
What do you mean?
A lot of people just being like, bro, ... And I was like, I don't give a shit.
get over it.
Get
like,
over it.
Fucking, that's so funny.
She's so bad, dude. Oh my God. I said Blitz doesn't deserve Stolas.
Not at all. I get hate on that too. People are like, I get so many comments of people being like, you don't get Blitz is traumatized though. He has trauma. Hey,
But here's the thing, and it does specifically have to do with Stolas, who he gets sold to.
yeah, he does get sold to him. He gets rented to him.
He gets rented to him, but like I understand where Blitz is coming from. Like, he gets like sold by his father.
Yeah.
The only one person who gives a shit about him is like I don't know, like his childhood friend who he's trying to steal shit from.
Fizz, yeah.
But fuck that episode
fuck off,
where they go to the lust circle, and he's like, I need a date to get into this club just so we can follow Moxie and Millie. And Stolas is so excited. And Stolas like gets there in 20 minutes, and they go in, and he's just like not paying attention to him. You see Stolas falling apart. Oh,
It's
fuming.
brutal.
It doesn't even begin. And then they end season 1 with that. They end season 1 with like Stolas like being disheveled at home, and Blitz just like scrolling on his phone being like, well, nobody loves me. It's like, hey, you have a prince of hell who loves you more than you could even begin to conceptualize. And you're not. Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I get so many comments that people are like, you're like, Blitz is traumatized. It's this and that. You know who else is traumatized? The entire fucking cast of this show.
They're in hell.
Yeah, they're in hell. They're all bad people. None of them are ruining other people's lives like Blitz is.
Yeah.
Like, you could still blame a person for their actions.
Absolutely.
Did you read, like, the texts? That there's like a bit, I forgot.
Where it's like a bunch of like huge paragraphs, and he's just sending like K.
Yeah, he's
okay.
like, KK, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that? Because that
Infuriating.
fucking, yeah.
And then he sends like, hey, hope you get better after Stolas gets injured. Like he gets like
shot.
Yeah, he gets like shot, and he's like, hey, hope you get better. And then he like Stolas like responds, and then like he like you see the bubbles pop up, and then it disappears. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking
I know.
Oh, I'm gonna throttle him.
I
dude.
like paused and read all those texts, and they're so brutally like relatable to like middle school me of like
trying to get somebody's interest.
yeah, like sending paragraphs and being like, yeah, you know, I like the reason I wasn't in class wasn't because I was sick. It was because I'm in love with you and I don't know how I feel. And they're like, LOL, love you too, bud. And I'm like, oh my Christ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm throwing up in this Stop and Shop bathroom right now. Please respond.
And like how their relationship starts, like him literally just being there to rob his grimoire.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, I guess I'll fuck him.
Yeah. Stolas has hurt nobody ever.
And then he was like, and then like Blitz like tried to like flip it on him and be like, oh, like at the end of it was like, I don't want to fuck you right now. You've made it clear that's all you ever want from me. When?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When did he
That's what I'm saying.
ever even act like that? Like I get that he calls him, he's like, hey, let's like make some love, but like never in his life has he ever been like, get out.
Yeah.
Stolas wouldn't tell Blitz to get out.
Stolas got dressed in his finest galaxy to go on this fucking date with you. And then after the date, he's literally like,
Come in.
yeah, he's like, come in, we can have some wine. And he's like, I don't want to fucking do this. And it's like, fuck, he's like showing you. And then he even says, he's like, we don't have to sleep together. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, all you want is to sleep together. Listen to words people say to you.
Yeah. So like this is the point in my watch through, and I was like, oh, that person who said I was blitz coded, I'm gonna fucking throttle. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna find this person's IP and throttle them.
We're now at the Kesha episode, I believe.
I said Asmodeus first good song.
Okay.
And then I said, never mind, the wife is awful. That's when it was revealed that she was just a bad person.
Yeah.
The first 2 episodes of season 2 are better than the entirety of season 1.
Wait, did you watch the episode with the the bee wolf? And there's a song about cotton candy?
Beowulf? What are you talking about?
There's an episode 8 of season 1.
There's only 7 episodes in season 1.
Episode 8 of season 1.
No, you're not counting. There's only 7 episodes in season 1.
No.
I just watched them.
It's an 8th episode.
There's 7 episodes in each season.
No. There's an 8th of season 2 now also.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I was like out like 6 days ago. Yeah, you're right.
Episode 8 of season 1. Yep, look it up. Helluva Boss, episode 8.
I don't believe you.
Season 1.
This is the kind of thing I would know. Is
Kesha's in it.
Kesha's in it?
Kesha's in it and sings.
Okay, here's my thing, but I haven't missed anything. Like, I haven't missed anything.
Chat, please. We created a power imbalance. I think it's weird. I don't understand. Like, we all gotta figure out to what standards we're holding everyone. Because on one hand, it's like they're in hell, so like they're all pretty shitty. Like that's what I'm scaling it to. Like Stolas, that's like shitty Earth stuff, like doing this contractual thing. Blitz is like ruining his life. And also the contractual thing is the only way he could ever get Blitz to talk to him. And the sex thing is like, again, they're like all in hell and they're all like horny as fuck. I don't know.
I have not seen episode 8.
Yeah.
Queen Bee? I missed this episode. It opens with Luna getting out of a cab.
Kesha isn't the singer. Whoa, weird. It's a very
Is this
Kesha
the fucking
song.
Hellhound party? I know she said she was going to this. I completely missed this episode.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm going back and watching this.
I'll be right back. I'm going to piss real quick. But.
No, I'm saying like, I don't think being like, oh, Stolas is royalty and Blitz isn't is a reason that like creates a power vacuum between the two of them that makes it like not kosher.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't get that.
I don't think that's an angle that plays.
Yeah.
I just don't because obviously the thing is Stolas is the more invested out of the two of them.
Yeah.
So like Stolas wouldn't act without like necessary repercussions with Blitz because they would affect him more than they would affect Blitz. So like, I don't know. I don't think that power dynamic
wouldn't
angle plays.
Stolas have more to lose?
Yeah.
Than Blitz? Doesn't Blitz technically have the power?
Yeah.
In that?
Yeah.
To, like ruin his reputation.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, like I don't like Blitz being like a zero to hero like story of like, oh, I married this royal. That's a classic trope. So I just don't think that plays. Moving on. I guess I have to watch the last episode of
I guess so.
season
It's
1.
fine. It's like, I mean, it's good. It's fun. But
I wanted to like Luna as a character more. Why is she not in the show? Why is she just simply not around?
yeah, Luna's like, in terms of me liking her, she's kind of just hot, but like, she doesn't do a lot.
Nope.
Her episode with Octavia is kind of cool, but like,
You're just following her on Instagram.
I like started to get mad at her because I was like, are you about to take the fucking credit for this rescue mission that Stolas is heading?
Yeah.
But she didn't. I like Luna enough because she's like,
She didn't do anything wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong. Octavia needs to start liking her dad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna get annoyed.
I understand like the dynamic of like him like technically being the person who's destroying the family because he's fucking the imp.
Yeah.
But I get the emo daughter angle, but like Stolas is a fantastic dad. Him bringing her to like Lululand and being like, I love you, I would never abandon you. Like at that point, figure your shit out.
Yeah.
Figure your shit out immediately.
Yeah.
I said, and then my biggest note was the first 2 episodes of season 2 are better than the entirety of season 1.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I just think season 2 is like exponentially better than season 1.
Interesting.
It's not close.
I don't know if I agree because animation's better in season 2.
That fight scene in season 1 though of them killing the demon hunters,
Crazy.
she's like insane.
Yeah, like actually
Millie's like
insane.
tossing the axe around and shit.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Super long. Millie's fight at Moxie's wedding is really good too.
Yeah, she's just running through the mafiosos. Yeah.
But animation's better in season 2 and like the plot is like plotting more.
Yeah.
But season 2 is not as funny. Like at all.
I don't find this show that funny.
Interesting.
I don't find this type of humor that funny.
Is this not Brandon Rogers like Inc?
I guess no, you're right. No, you're right.
Season 1's like really funny to me, and then season 2 feels like they lean too hard into like everyone's got to be sad. We got to prove that we're like actual writers, and like
I think
they lost a lot of the humor.
I think it's genuinely more compelling that way.
Yeah.
I think every episode outside of the camp, like I said, the camp episode is like almost a character assassination on a Moxie, which is devastating. I think what it loses in humor, it makes up for in emotional like impact, and I think that's better. I think like it's almost kind of like in Has Been Hotel, where I'm like, it feels like we're all just swearing to swear at this point. Like it's just like occasionally like the show, like I don't clutch my pearls, but I'm like,
yeah, it's like
tamp the brakes. You said tampons. Congratulations.
Sometimes they'll like bleep out the C word,
and
I'll be like, that's the whole joke.
Yeah,
like you said the C word, like you gotta do a joke.
There was a really funny moment when my favorite joke of the entire fucking show is Brandon Rogers. It's Blitzy being at the vet trying to get the Hellbeast shot for Luna, and he's yelling at the nurse in the front who can't read or write, and he's like, "You fucking blah blah blah, you can't say that word anymore." And I was like, dying laughing.
Yeah,
and that's in season 2. And I do think the show's very funny. I don't know. I haven't noticed the show is less funny in season 2, but I have noticed an uptick in like emotional impact.
That's fair.
I like
it's just like that is entirely subjective. You know?
Oh, I said Stryker's low key like that. My God, this man's nice. Like he's like this man is fucking. There's when he steals Stolas, he's like that. Like when he steals Stolas, and both Millie and Moxie pull up on him, and he's just fucking. He's just putting them both down like Eddie Hall fighting those two short guys. You're not going to get that. One of you will.
I don't even get what like that means.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying.
I love having you around. You're like a cut into 2015. He's just strong.
Yeah.
He's just got that. He's just got that. God, I hate how Blitz treats Stolas. Female Moxie could get it. They did a Yamcha reference when Millie killed a kid with a volleyball.
Yeah.
Loved that.
Yeah, fun.
They kept doing it too. And the clown and Asmodeus are unironically very cute.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
I love them. I love that they're like the head of the lust ring. But like they're in love, and they like, can't let anybody see that they're in love. Yeah. Because they're like, we have to be lustful. And they literally just told Moxie shove it for telling Millie, like, because who wouldn't tell Millie that he loves her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good notes.
Overall.
Yeah.
Not as good as Has Been Hotel.
Okay.
But I do love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like the characters more in this one. Honestly.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? Yes.
Because I
agree.
And the tier list like reflected it. Like Blitz, I love watching.
Yes.
And I love being
Blitz is the most compelling character in both Has Been Hotel and outside of Angel. Angel is the only character in terms of like how compelling they are from Has Been Hotel who holds a candle to even like the top 5 characters from from Helluva Boss.
Yeah, for sure. Like love like all the main cast, Millie, Moxie, Blitz, and Stolas. Love them all. Like they lap anyone other than Angel.
I'll tell you right now, Helluva Boss is a better show than Has Been Hotel. The music in Has Been Hotel is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's great.
It makes it better than Helluva Boss for me.
That's fair.
There's just so many great songs.
That's fair.
In Has Been Hotel where I'm like, this carries the fact that the characters are, and that's probably why the characters are less interesting because half the time they're singing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm just like sitting there clapping along and I'm not paying attention to the actual message behind any of it.
Yeah.
But like
fair.
Blitz and Stolas are more interesting than anybody from Has Been Hotel.
Yeah.
Millie and Moxie are more interesting than everybody but Angel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's already 4. Like,
yeah, that's pretty much
I can't name 4 characters in Has Been Hotel that I'm like, I can't live without them.
Angel.
Just Angel.
That's
Angel, I love Serpentious, but he dies.
Yep.
And that's it. It's not that I don't like them, but they don't hold a candle to Helluva Boss.
No, they genuinely don't.
Yeah.
Do you like Helluva Boss more than Has Been Hotel?
I think because of the reasons I just said. Like,
yeah.
I think even when there's a miss of an episode, I like the characters.
Yeah.
Enough. But if there was like a Vaggy exclusive episode and the song sucked.
Oh, I'd skip it.
Yeah, it'd be filler in my eyes.
What you just said, where like, characters I couldn't live without in Has Been Hotel. I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, you could replace anyone in this show and I probably wouldn't blink.
If you did like a round robin tournament and you were like, all right, one of these characters has to go. Moxie, Husk. Husk is gone.
Yep.
Moxie, Vaggie. Vaggie's gone.
Yep.
Like any...
And Moxie's the fourth most interesting person.
Fourth best one.
I'd say Moxie's more interesting than Millie, but
Yeah.
I like him less than Millie.
Yeah, I feel that. Millie's done less. Like, she hasn't had really her episode.
Because, like, Moxie gets, like, the gang episode, which I thought was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun.
Good
Great
stuff.
show. Just fun.
Great stuff.
Shout out to the gays.
Shout out to the gays.
Shout out to the gays and the theys.
Yeah.
Because this show is...
For them.
Oh, it's way gayer than Has Been Hotel. It's...
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's bisexual.
Everybody's gay.
Everybody's gay.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Blitz is, like, just gay. Like, there's, like, Blitz is bisexual, and, like, they don't even acknowledge it. They're just like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then, like, Moxie, it's revealed that he's bisexual when they bring in, like, Shaz, big dick shark man.
Shaz, the party shark.
Yeah, yeah. And then it was like, everybody's gay. And I'm like, you know what? Go gay.
Yeah.
You go
gay.
You go gay.
Go gay, gay ranger.
You gay. All right, you want to do best boys?
Yeah.
My best boys
Quickly.
this week, Richard.
Yeah.
Just
a stand-up guy.
a stand-up
Who is
guy.
he?
Richard is our producer from Anime IRL, and just like is somebody who reached out to me when he heard that we were doing Anime IRL, and he was like, "Oh, I heard you guys are doing this like in-person project. I'm a Hollywood producer. Let me help with this." And my God, the guy is a fucking wonder worker. He is insane. Oh, the quality of our shoots is just exponentially skyrocketed. I was the producer before this. We would have dropped the project in 3 weeks if we didn't have this motherfucker. He is worth his weight in gold, and I love him.
Yeah, the Family Feud thing we shot today, VFX pending, is gonna look
Incredible.
fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
So that's cool. My best boy is video games, Summer Game Fest.
Oh, big games.
Today,
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk about fucking any of it.
Yeah.
Because this has been like a goddamn 12-hour
I own
work
Danny
day.
for like 7 to 10 hours. I own you on Sundays.
It's been exhausting days, getting harder and harder to justify to Sarah.
Yeah.
How's Dorothy been doing with it? She
Great.
care?
I take Fridays off.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
But today, it's been like an outrageous, relentless release of video game trailers.
Was there? Well, there was not a con, but like a thing.
Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
Which is essentially E3 now, because E3 is no longer existing.
Is it Microsoft?
Yeah, today was.
Gotcha.
So today was Microsoft announcing a bunch of games, releasing trailers, which is crazy because they like don't make games anymore.
Yeah.
New Gears of War got a trailer. Cinematic, but it like set a great tone. And I love Gears of War.
Yeah.
It's
They're just like it's like the cover shooter, like gold standard.
yeah.
Gears
It's
of
a
War.
prequel, which is weird. It's like the day the locusts attack.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's called Gears of War E-Day. And I think it takes place on Earth. Or no, that doesn't make sense. But it's E-Day, so.
Sick.
Fucking, it's sick. It looks like it's going back to its like horror roots because the whole trailer is.
Dude, when Berserkers used to come out in like Gears of War 2, it was fucking terrifying.
It's scary as hell. And it's not that Gears games aren't like you mowing down like thousands of guys. It is that, but like they always took it so seriously.
Yeah.
And now it's a little like marveled up where like they're quipping and they're like doing bits. And they used to be like, yeah, you're killing tons of guys, but it was like at any moment they all knew they could be killed.
Yeah.
And
Like Dom getting out of like the torture tube and you give him a gun, he's just
Ty, yeah.
Or Ty, yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Dom like also getting tortured, driving the tanker into like a huge explosion.
Dom seeing Maria and she's like a fucking shell.
Yep.
But
Or every time they introduce one of the helmeted characters and they get headshot. I got so sad about that when I was younger because I loved their design.
yeah. But this trailer is cool because it feels like it's going back to those roots of like the Locust are scary and everyone takes it seriously because it's like the whole trailer is Marcus in like an apartment building just fucking throwing down with one locust and it's like really hard to kill.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing and it's sick. There's that. Assassin's Creed got a gameplay trailer and it looks awesome. Fucking the new Doom game. I showed you the trailer. It's in medieval times.
The Dark Ages, yeah.
Looks fucking sick.
Yep.
Indiana Jones got a trailer by the Wolfenstein people. I also am skeptical about it.
That's wild.
It's weird.
That's so wild. I want Harrison Ford voicing it.
Yeah.
Come here, you Nazi fuck. You fucking Mecha Hitler. Like, wrong series,
You
sir.
hear his lips like aren't moving anymore. He's like, his lips move and he's like, come here, you Nazi fuck. And the lips stop moving. You hear like, I have to say that line. I'm not doing this if I don't.
If I can't say that, and they're like, sir, we're trying to get an artifact here.
Yeah, but there's that. Starfield's getting an expansion. Just so much. Diablo's expansion got a trailer. It's crazy. It's an insane amount. I was like buzzing on the drive to set today because I like was getting all these YouTube notifications. I'm like, I fucking hate that I have this job.
You know I was grumpy when I called you today?
Yeah, you were pissed.
You know I'm grumpy?
Why?
Because you perpetually have your phone on notification silence. And I have to call you twice every time I call you.
I'm fucking on set and also an influencer. I get 1,000 notifications.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Do you have notifications turned on for like Instagram and TikTok?
Not Instagram, not TikTok, YouTube for like news. And I get texts. I'm a popular guy. I'm very charming.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Discord. My Discord's always freaking out.
Yeah, I also totally have Discord notifications on. Yep, 1,000%.
My Discord wouldn't think I have notifications on.
Yeah, well, you don't have any notifications on because your phone is always on radio silence. I have to call you twice. Can I do my flashback?
Yeah.
Studio Gianix shut down. The people who did Gurren Lagann and...
Is that not Trigger?
No. No, the people did Fully Cooley, Gurren Lagann,
Whoa,
all those like very iconic,
Yeah.
like chibi-esque style, anime got shut down or filed for bankruptcy and is shutting down because they invested in a restaurant, like based off their IPs that didn't do well. They tried to get into like a couple of different like animation, like studio type things. They tried to get like different formats, different formulas, and like made just like a bunch of like really bad financial decisions. And now like one of like the most storied, please stop doing that.
Okay.
He was petting his mustache. Yeah. One of the most storied animation studios of all time.
Yeah.
Gone.
That sucks. They're great.
Yeah. Really good art style.
Man. Yeah, that's a bummer.
I also have a little bit more news. The new Gundam movie trailer dropped, Requiem for Vengeance, and it looks sick.
Yeah.
Have you seen Love, Death, and Robots?
Yeah.
Have you seen Sony's Edge, the first episode?
Sony?
Where she's like the girl with the side shave cut is piloting the Flashback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a Gundam movie with that animation style. And the Unicorn Gundam is, I think, the bad guy. Wow. And like, it's like a bunch of people and like, you know, the small little red Gundams, like the base trooper units.
Zakus.
Yeah, the Zakus. They're like using the Zakus and like you see the Unicorn Gundam like towering over trees with like bead red eyes in the dark of night with like fire burning around it, and it looks like a thriller with like the Unicorn Gundam being the bad guy, and it looks sick, dude.
Whoa, it does look cool.
It looks
crazy,
dope as hell.
It looks like Appleseed. Did you ever watch Appleseed?
It does look like Appleseed, the Final Fantasy movie.
No,
wait,
Appleseed. It's a mech one. It looks like that.
That wasn't a Final Fantasy movie?
No.
You know what's so funny? Oh my God.
You just thought it was?
No, dude, yes. Appleseed movie. You know what's so funny? I had this anime, this movie.
Yeah.
Because they made an Appleseed movie.
Yeah.
It was the only movie I had for my PSP. And I would watch it all the time, dude.
That's so funny.
I need to rewatch this because I have seen this movie a loose 50 times. And you know what's crazy? This movie came out in 2004. This animation probably still holds up today. I remember being one of the most like stunningly beautiful animated things I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's fucking, the robot is so cool looking.
The robot's it's got the rabbit ears, dude.
Yeah.
And it had the huge gun. I'm rewatching this movie like tomorrow.
He looks like Chappie, doesn't he?
It does look like Chappie. I cannot, but you just, oh my God, that was a core memory. It was I don't know why it was, I think it came with, I think I bought a used PSP and it was just in the PSP I bought and I watched it every road trip.
Imagine if every PSP came with Appleseed.
That would be great.
We're putting all our chips into this.
As it should. I think it was literally like 2005 when I was watching it. It was like the era of the PSP.
Wow. My news.
Yeah.
Tower of God. Season 2 got a trailer.
Oh my God. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought.
Wow, this is a good reaction. I know nothing about Tower of God.
You know nothing about Tower of God?
I just grabbed some news.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, Tower of God. I thought.
People love it.
Well, this was back when Crunchyroll was doing like a manhwa. They were doing like 1 season manhwa deals. It was like that God of High School. It's why God of High School was so rushed pacing wise. And because they were like, oh, we're only going to get 1 season with Crunchyroll. Let's get as much as we can. Everyone fell in love with Tower of God. And they're like, we want another season of this. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It was a long time ago. Yeah.
That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. Season 2 trailer.
Holy shit, that's dope.
I didn't even look at it.
That brings us to the part of today's episode where me and Danny do love letters. So if you guys ever want to hang out with us live, watch me and Danny break down anime news and reactions live, you can become a YouTube member or Patreon member and get that privilege. You also get the privilege to ask me and Danny questions in this here love letters section, where me and Danny might have the possibility of answering one of your questions. So Daniel, go to that chat, find us a question that we can answer for our lovely Patreon members and YouTube members. Poet Grimshaw asks, what anime villain would fail immediately in another universe? And I don't want to talk about this in the sense of, oh, they're too weak to like survive. Like I could obviously be like, oh, Ghetto wouldn't do well in Dragon Ball.
What do you got?
Shigaraki would not make it in Naruto.
Really?
Dude, Shigaraki
Wow.
wouldn't make it in Naruto at all. Not only is Shigaraki getting destroyed by like the fodder in Naruto, it's just a different scaling thing entirely. Actually, Shigaraki by the end of the manga does scale
Does
pretty highly.
Shigaraki come with One for All, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Even the strongest iteration of Shigaraki does not make it in Naruto, and not for power scaling reasons.
Whoa.
The Deku's entire idea to like get to Shigaraki is to like talk to the child inside of him to save the boy in there. You put Naruto in that situation, Shigaraki's on the Shinobi Alliance in like 5 minutes flat.
Yeah.
Deku's talk no jutsu is so weak. Every time he just cries, and he's like, I'm gonna reach out to the boy in there. Dude, Naruto would have Shigaraki sitting down in some weird celestial soul plane, and in 5 minutes flat, he talked to Obito, who committed his entire life to destroying the world because his third grade crush died into coming to the side of the good guys in like 7 minutes flat. You give Naruto 2 chairs and enough time to talk to Shigaraki, all for one's on our side now.
That's so funny because earlier this episode, we were talking about how the big difference between Naruto and My Hero is that Naruto characters are being trained to kill.
Yes.
And My Hero characters are being trained to apprehend. I thought that's where you were going with it. Like Shigaraki rolls up and he's like, just try to arrest me. Kunine to the eye.
Oh, he would absolutely get murdered. But here's the thing. The current plan in MHA is kill Shigaraki.
Yeah.
Like everybody outside of Deku is let's kill Shigaraki. Naruto doesn't kill though. That's the issue.
I just like that your argument is that Naruto's more charismatic
than Deku. Yeah.
That's
absolutely
awesome.
Also, Kakashi would kill him. Like Kakashi tries to kill Sasuke in Shippuden, and he's like, "You're being a brat. I'm gonna kill you." Kakashi would listen to Shigaraki for a minute, maybe, and he'd be like, "You know what? Raikiri. Let's. Can you decay electricity? Let's find out."
Yeah. Wow. If this TikTok doesn't get 1 million views, what a great take. What a great prompt.
That's what I'm here for.
Wow. I love that. Well, that's all we got today, folks. I've been Danny Motta, also known as NC Hammer 23, also known as the Weeb Commander, also known as the frontman of Anime IRL. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you liked this, make sure you consider subscribing to our Patreon, where you can join our lovely member of our... God, I'm doing so well!
You're doing pretty good.
I'm doing so well!
Welcome to my job. Hosting's not easy.
I never want to do this again. I'm destroying the...
You lose the best. Lose the best. All right, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you popping in. I've been Danny Motta, also known as the host of All Things Beloved on Tumblr.
Unfortunately.
If there's ever been somebody with a side-shaved head who loved the show, I'm reacting to it. That's me, baby.
If it's gay, you've shown it to me.
Yeah, that's... well, hey, listen, we skipped. We weren't able to make it to the parade today, unfortunately. I do really want to go to Pride.
Is today the parade?
Today was the parade.
Today specifically? It's not a month-long...
Do you think they do a parade every day, Danny?
I thought they do
The gays have to work, too,
They do it
Danny.
every week.
They don't...
They shouldn't have to on this month. And that's my platform.
The gays get June off.
Me, HP Moneybags.
All right, we're leaving. Goodbye.
And now for my next number. I'd like to return to the classics.